Good morning, y'all. What's up, guys? This is my favorite, this is my favorite call of the year. This is the favorite thing that I get to do here at Carrot. And guys and gals, as everyone's trickling in, we have almost 1,000 people that have registered for today's epic planning call. And I'm insanely pumped about it, y'all. I'm crazy pumped about it. So I'm going to be diving in and I'm going to be vulnerable with y'all. I'm going to be walking you through some of my biggest takeaways of the year. I'm going to be walking you through some of my biggest failures of the year. And I want you guys to be doing the same thing. And I've got some new process that we're going to be diving in today that I want you guys to take and use. We'll have a slide deck that you guys can go use, a one-page strategic plan, the whole shebang that you guys can go away and use today. So what I want to do first is I was having a little bit of audio issues. So Murphy's Law states when something goes wrong, it all go wrong, right? So my head of content here, my digital content, Brady, he's on vacation. And so normally he's the guy that I would be sitting in the office going, Brady, my mic isn't working. And he's not here today. So it's me, and hopefully my audio is sounding good. If you guys can let me know through the comments box, can you guys hear me? And is the audio fine? Before people were saying it was kind of echoing back and forth a little bit. Let me know in the comments box. Double yes. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Quick tech check. And is the audio fine? If the audio sounds great, we're gonna be diving right in. If not, I'm gonna switch mics and do something real quick. Awesome, Jay. Jay says we can hear you. Presidente Bells says wildly excited about this conference. Alana, California, private money lender, broker, ready to explode in 2021. I love it. What's up, Aaron? Aaron Pennington, Sacramento, California. Looking to scale marketing, crush 2021. What's up, Courtney? What's up, dude? Destin, Florida, have a plan to in place to leave my job finally. Ready for my business to explode. Calling from Oakville. I love it, y'all. So it looks like we sound good. Awesome. The computer restart did it. So here's what we're going to do, y'all. I'm going to be putting this little chat box over the side, so I'll be able to see your guys' chats coming through. I'm going to share my screen here in a second. But before we get started, I want you guys to do this, okay? And this is really, really important because I want to make sure that if you guys are going to invest this time with me today, and I'm investing this time with you today, if we're going to be investing this time together, I want you to get the most you can possibly get out of the next couple hours together. Now, this training every single year that I do, it's completely free. We don't sell anything on it. It's something because I absolutely love to do it. And part of my mission in life, but also part of our mission here at Carrot, is to help you guys, help guys and gals just like you to build businesses that give you freedom and build businesses that help you make a greater impact. And you'll hear from my story for over the past several years, but also from my story in 2020, where I've struggled with that sometimes, and where I've really, really won big time sometimes with it, and exactly what shifts I had to make to do it. And one of the biggest things that you guys can do right now is not be distracted. Okay. I remember I was on a case study call with one of our clients, Adam Mitchell. He went from losing 40K in a year, doing all types of marketing, being highly unfocused, to now doing over $500,000 with the full-time job still that he's looking at leaving now very shortly. And that was all with Carrot. Now, what was the big difference? He said in this case study call we did with him just a couple months ago, he said, man, the one thing that really kicked it off for me and changed it was that epic planning call that you did at the end of 2018. He said, some of the things you walked through there completely shifted my mindset. Some of the things that you told me to do, I went away and did and crafted a better plan for the next year. And it completely turned his world around, guys and gals. So I don't want you to have this on in the background, okay? Don't turn it on in the background and just sit there and go do other things. Don't be checking emails. Don't be checking Facebook. Don't be checking Instagram. This is your time to focus on the next 365 days and how you can make it your most epic year ever. And if we can't invest an hour or a couple hours into making the next 365 days amazing, that's probably going to be a great indicator to what your next 365 days is going to be. It's going to be chaotic. It's going to be all over the place if you can't invest a couple hours right now to make next year amazing. So I want you guys to close down all your browser windows, except for this one right here. Don't close this one down. I want you guys to share this call with other people that you care about. Go right now before you close down Facebook, before you close down Instagram. Take this page right here that you're on, copy and paste it in there and say, hey, y'all, if you want to have an amazing year, come over here and join me. Because we're going to be going through, and this is going to be workshop style. This isn't going to be just me talking at you. Okay. And at the end of the call, I'm going to be bringing on hopefully a couple people who are going through this process with me. And I'm going to be kind of hot seating you. Okay. We're going to be talking about your goals. We're going to talk about where you're struggling with your purpose. We're going to talk about where you're struggling to get momentum on your goals. And hopefully I can coach you through some cool stuff. And we've never done that before on one of these calls. So guys, I'm insanely excited about it. Like I said, we have almost 1,000 people registered for this. We're going to have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds on here. Thousands will view this over the next several days. And the thing that I want to toss at you guys before I bring up the slides to share is this right here. I'm going to be going through a lot of different things I've learned over the past year, over the past 10 years. And there's going to be a clear divide between all of you guys and gals on this training right now. Okay, there's going to be a bunch of you who are going to listen to this and be crazy inspired. You're going to be motivated. You're going to have this high for the next day, the next 2 days, the next hour. And then you're not going to do anything about it. You're going to slip back into your normal routine of busyness, of distraction, of too many things. And then you're going to be looking back in February, in March, in June going, man, I said this year was going to be different. You know, I said 2021 was going to be different than 2020. I said at the end of 2019, I was going to change these habits, and I didn't do that in 2020. And I'm not going to be okay with making that happen this next year. But you know what? I'm in the same place I was this year, this time last year or 2 years ago. Why didn't things change? Well, the reason things won't change for many of you is because you're going to get too distracted and you won't take action on this. Or maybe right now is not the right timing, right? Maybe 6 months from now will be. But there will be also a group of you who will take action on it. And I'm going to be talking to you guys just like Adam Mitchell and just like Keith Sant, just like so many other people who watch this and go, you know what? I'm going to use this to actually change my life. This isn't just information. This isn't just something I'm going to absorb and soak in. This is something I'm going to use to change the way that I think about life, that I live, and that I run my business. And I want you guys and gals to look back at 2020 and the end of 2020 and the start of 2021 in a year or 2 years and say, man, that moment right there was one of the most pivotal moments in my life up to this point. That there was a clear change, a clear inflection point that changed because I made a decision to do something different going into this next year than I have in years past. And I'm going to be walking you guys through exactly what I do and what I started to do over the last several years to really make my life happiness, my life joy, and my business success a lot better and more predictable. I'm going to be walking through what I call my life operating system. This is something I've never presented outside of just kind of inner circle groups. And in any of the previous Epic calls, if you've been on any of my previous Epic calls, y'all, this is going to be way different. It's a completely different slide deck. There's some of the same quotes because at the end of the day, y'all, if I show up to this Epic planning call with everything completely different every year, that's a bad thing. Because what I want you guys to get is growing an operating system that works for you in life and business is not about changing it every year. It's about stacking on the things that work, continuing to improve them. And every single year, that way that you plan or the way that you step into your year should actually not change very much over time. Use what works and just keep doing it over and over again. All right, guys. So we're going to be diving in right now. I'm looking on, let's see. Awesome. Jay says everything's off. I'm assuming not this podcast or not this cast, right? Like some of your goals. What's up, home buying guys? 2021 is going to be awesome. Glad to be here. Want to learn to be a better marketer. I want you guys to do this right now. Pop through the comments box why you are on this call. Like, what do you want to do with your life and business in 2021? Okay, pop through there. What are your biggest goals? Why do you want to be on here? What do you want to do with your business and life in 2021? What's up, Christoph Becker, Carrot Camper? What's up, man? Paula, what's up, Paula? Eric, dude, we need to get you out to Carrot Camp as well. Guys, go watch Eric Stanio's case study with us. This is awesome. Okay, great. Let's see. Scott Johnson says, my goal is to set goals and use them as milestones. This is the year that I plan to smash it. I love it, dude. What's up, Nancy? Nancy's actually in this building right here. I like it. That's one of the things I love about this call is we get people, not just Carrot customers or people from the real estate community, but people from all over the place. Right here, Roger says, all comes down to trying new habits, keeping what works, shedding what doesn't, won't work until we try them out. Lorenzo says, want to scale from a couple deals a month to 10 or more with a minimum $5,000 fee. Develop a marketing machine. Okay. Jacob, I'll walk you through some of the process to get you focused to make sure you develop those things. Okay. Jay says 2021 will be the year I close down all distractions and get my time back. Dude, you and I have something in common in a big way. I love it. So I'm going to share my theme for the year here in a bit, y'all. I'm going to share some of my biggest takeaways for the year here in a bit. I'm going to share all these things with you guys right now. Okay, so I'm going to launch the slide deck. If you guys can let me know in the comments box, can you see my slide deck? Just a quick yes. If so, we're just going to dive in, and we're going to be hanging out. We're going to be camping out together, y'all. We're going to be camping out together, and this is not going to be a short call. Okay, it's called epic for a reason, because this is going to be a call that's long enough to inspire you, that's long enough to give you the tools to succeed. It's going to be a call where I'm going to bring on several of you, and the way that you guys and gals are going to be able to be the one of the one or two who are going to come on live with me on here. Number one, get a darn. You have to make sure you have a webcam. Number two, you've got to be able to launch your webcam and your audio live well, because we want to bring you on live. Number three is you need to be following along and actually using the worksheets, using the things I'm giving you and filling them out as we go, because I want to work with people who've already put thought into it while we're going through this. And I can challenge you. You can ask me questions, and I'm going to bring on two of you at the end of this call to do coaching. And I'm going to pick one person from this call to have a 30-minute coaching session with me, one-on-one coaching session over the phone or over Zoom in early 2020 or 2021. We're going to have a one-on-one 30-minute coaching session to look at your goals. I'm going to break apart your limiting beliefs. We're going to dive in. And guys, I'm going to be announcing who that is at the end of the call. And you have to be on live in order to get that. Okay. You have to be on live in order to get that 30-minute one-on-one session. All right, guys. So right here, Dave says, grateful to be here. 2021 is going to be a life changer. All right, guys. So my title slide's simple. Okay. I want to help you make 2021 your most epic year yet. And that's simple. And you're at the right place, y'all, if you're a high achieving entrepreneur and you don't want to settle for living an average life. And I want you guys in the comments box to put through, hey, if you resonate with one of these bullet points, put, yes, that's me. I'm feeling that right now. Okay, engage here. Are you a high achieving entrepreneur and don't want to settle for living for an average life? You're in the right place if you've already achieved your someday goals. Like many of you, and this is where I was several years ago, you'd set these big goals years and years and years ago, and you'd achieved many of them. And you're like, man, I thought when I achieved those things, like the clouds would part, happiness would just magically inject into my brain and into my heart. And man, I achieved those goals I would hope I would someday achieve sometime down the road. And I'm still not as happy and fulfilled as I thought I would be, right? That's a really, really common for entrepreneurs who are getting success and seeing success. Okay, you're in the right place if you're feeling that right now. Or on the other side of it, you're in the right place if you feel like you're working your butt off, but not getting closer to your ultimate goals, or your goals keep shifting. Do any of you guys relate with that? Where you're like, man, this is my third year in, this is my fourth year in, this is my second year in, and I'm just working my butt off, but it doesn't feel like things are cracking. Okay, this is the right place for that, because I'm going to show you a better way to set goals and follow up on that, so you're not shifting priority all the time. Okay, you're in the right place, y'all. If every year you have the same goals, okay, you set them, you reset them, and you reset them year after year after year. Okay, and you maybe have even thought, maybe I should just aim lower. Maybe those big goals I was setting for fitness or for finances or for whatever, maybe those big goals just aren't for me. Maybe they're for other people. Maybe only thinking big is for other people, right? Maybe it's just too hard for me. We've all been there. Y'all. I have indexed goals down because for years and years and years, I wasn't hitting them. Guys, it wasn't the fact that I couldn't hit the goals. It was the fact that I didn't have a good process to actually achieve the goals during the year. And I'm going to walk you through what that process is. I didn't have this process 10 years ago. I didn't have this process 5 years ago. Okay. You're in the right place if you want a better system for setting and achieving goals that sets you up for success in the new year. Okay. You're in the right place. If sometimes you dip into what I call the entrepreneur's funk, okay, but you don't know how to get out of it. How many of you guys and gals are in that right now, or have been in the last 6 months, where you're like, man, everything should be great for me. Like everyone looks at me as an entrepreneur and thinks, man, that guy or that gal's got it made, but I'm just in a funk. I just don't feel great. I don't feel like I'm in momentum. We're going to talk about momentum today and how to get back into momentum with my life operating system, my life OS. Okay, how many of you guys can relate to this? Okay. What about if you've been grinding for months or years and things don't seem to be breaking through for you? You're also in the right place, guys and gals. If you start each day feeling overwhelmed at everything you got to do and the little time you have to do it. I'm going to tell a story about in October when I had this happen to me in a big way. I was down in the dumps pretty big for about 2 days. And I'm just going, man, how am I possibly going to get through all that's on my lap? And I had a major mindset shift, and I'm going to be walking through here in a bit. My 3 major mindset shifts for 2020 that I want to walk you guys through that I've made and that are going to completely continue changing my life. And I want them to change your life too. One of them came out of those 2 days in October where I was massively overwhelmed. And I shifted the script, and I'm going to tell you guys exactly what I did to get momentum again. Okay, you're in the right place if you keep hitting against a wall and can't crack through to reach your vision for success. And you're just getting discouraged. You just feel like you're close, right? You're getting so close, and you can see, man, it just feels like I'm right there. It feels like I'm, just 1 step away or 2 steps away. And why is that person who doesn't seem any smarter than me? Why have they made it, but I haven't, right? You keep on hitting up against that wall. And I can tell you guys, that wall never goes away. Okay. Back in the day when I was wanting to make $4,000 a month as my goal back in 2007 or so, I wrote that on the wall. Like I had a piece of paper, put it on the wall in my living room. So I was accountable to it. So my wife saw it. So people who came over saw it, saw all my goals. And after about 6 months, I wasn't anywhere near that $4,000 a month. I took that piece of paper, I put it in my drawer at my house. And then about 4 years later, when we were moving, I pulled it out and saw this crumpled piece of paper that I put on my wall. I'm like, oh my gosh, every single one of those goals I hit. Okay. But now, as we're looking at it, we're the $4,000 a month, and now we're an 8-figure company, right? And I'm well beyond any of the financial goals that I'd ever set 10 years ago. I still hit walls today. So how do I get through them? I'm going to walk you through how I get through them faster than I ever did. And you're in the right place if you want to find ways to create more happiness and joy in life and business. Because at the end of the day, guys, we're going to talk about happiness and joy a lot. And I want you guys to let me know. I want you guys to let me know. Are you guys cool if we focus on not just how to create a successful business, not just how to make money, but are you guys cool if we focus today on how to help you live a more happy life and a life with more joy? Are you guys okay if we talk about how your business can fuel your life to be happier and more joyful and fuel your passions? Because that's what's most important to me. I have built businesses that made a lot of money and I was completely miserable in. I've seen people build businesses and they've got the Ferraris and they've got the Lambos, they've got all these things, but they're empty inside. And I don't want to have you have that. I don't want to have that. Okay. So people are asking, where are the worksheets? So I'll show you really fast right here. So if you guys are on this page right here, right below here is where you guys can get these downloads. Okay. My slide deck is right here. So the exact slides I'm going to be going through, except for a couple things, are right here. You can click them. It's a PDF format. We may, at the end of the call, upload the actual Google Slides format because there are a couple things on here that I do want you guys to be able to click and edit within this document. So right now, that's just the PDF version, but we'll get the Google Slides version up on it there. Brendan, and if you can, man, Brendan and my team listening, let's get the Google Slides version of that up. I know that sometimes there can be issues with sharing and stuff, but do whatever we have to do to make it completely open to the public. And then guys and gals, when you click that Google Slides thing that will be up here in a bit, you'll click make a copy. Okay, don't try to edit it and don't request access to edit it. You need to click up in the upper left. We'll show you, and then click make a copy. Okay, just go here. We'll show you how to do it. Okay, but Brendan, if you can get that uploaded in there, because there's a couple things I want people to fill out. Over here, there's a copy of the annual strategic plan 1-page template. Same thing with that, Brendan. If you guys can make that the Google slide too, so people can type it out and follow along. If not, guys and gals, you guys can click this right here and you can download the PDF version of this, and then you guys can start writing on it. But yeah, Brendan, let's make both of those Google slides that are editable. And then guys and gals, when you'll go click in and those, click make a copy, don't click request access. Okay, so that's where those are. Awesome. Let's do it, y'all. So here we go. Let's go ahead and dive in. One thing I was doing late last night and all this week is I was on my own journey. Okay, I'm on my own growth journey right now. And if many of you are following along on my Instagram, you're seeing that I'm riding a little over 500 miles on my bike in the month of December. Now, you guys might be asking why I'm doing that. I'm going to be telling you why I'm doing that here in a bit on this training call. I'm not a big cyclist. I've never ridden more than 50 miles in a month in my life, and I'm riding 500 miles this month. I've ridden for 29 straight days. Today, I've got to ride 30 miles. I'm riding essentially the number of miles for the number of days in the month. Yesterday, I rode 29. Today, I'm riding 30. Tomorrow, I'm riding 31 to finish it up. And the reason I'm telling you guys this is as I was looking at the mental mindset shifts that I've had this past month with this challenge, I'm going to show you how to create challenges effectively here in a little bit that completely change your life and help you get momentum in business and life. One thing that I was thinking about is this thing I call the discontentment gap. And the discontentment gap is essentially, we all have this vision for where we want to be or where we want to go. We have a vision of goals. We're kind of comparing ourselves possibly against other people. And we're like, man, why am I not there? And whatever there is, it could be a number. It could be a vision of yourself. It could be a house. It could be whatever it is. And then there's the green line, which is where you are today. Right? So here's this discontentment line, which is always a little bit more than you currently are, or a little bit more money, or a little bit better house, or a little bit, more in shape, or whatever that is. And then there's where you are today. And then in the middle is something that I call the gap. And this gap is where discontentment grows. This gap is where we oftentimes use it the wrong way, and we use it to point out what we're doing wrong, or we use it to point out why we're not happy or why we're not fulfilled. Hey, I'm not there right now. So therefore, because I'm not there, I can't be truly happy. Or if I finally reach this, right? The if-then complex. If I finally reach this financial goal, if I finally break through and do 10 deals a month, if I finally find that spouse, if I finally get in shape, then I will finally be happy. Okay, the if-then complex, guys, is the quickest way to always be unhappy, no matter how much you achieve your goals. Okay, there's been spots in my life where I'm like, man, once I finally hit $100,000 a year, then I'll dial back and I'll just finally be as happy as possible. And then you hit the $100,000 a year, and you're like, man, maybe the number just needs to be a little bigger. Like things didn't change for me. Maybe it's $1 million a year. Okay, so then you're like, all right, $1 million a year. You hit the $1 million a year number, and you're like, man, things don't really feel different. I got a few more bucks in my bank account. Maybe I could buy the thing, but I bought the thing, and contentment didn't last very long. I'll talk about it here in a bit on why happiness is not what we want. It's actually joy. Okay. And so we start to look at this and go, man, maybe it's not $1 million a year. Maybe it's $1 million a month, right? It's like, maybe once I hit $1 million a month, then things will finally open up. Then guys, I can tell you the answer to all those is it does not. It does not. None of those goals are going to make you happy. Okay, you're always gonna be raising your bar. You're always going to be having this discontentment gap if you don't do what I'm going to be teaching you here in a bit. Okay, so what are you going to do in 2021 to close that gap? And there's a couple ways to close that gap. One of the ways to close that gap is, of course, to achieve on a lot of your goals and to hit those goals and have gratitude that we reach them. Another way to close the gap is just mindset shifts. And I'm going to be walking through some of those mindset shifts and why it's important to be like this quote here says. I think it's important to be dissatisfied at some things in life. Okay. But this quote really sums it up well. Blissful dissatisfaction is living in a state of happiness in the present while still desiring to get to the next level. Okay, blissful dissatisfaction is living in a state of happiness in the present while still desiring to get to the next level. So what does that mean? So when you're over here and you're on that green line, you're always looking for, man, what's the next better version of myself? It's not really a number. It's not a monetary goal. It's not the car. What I want you guys to shift to is not this line of finances, income, car, things, any of that stuff. I want this line to be focused on the better version of yourself. Okay, that is the vision I want you guys to be focusing on. Is who do I want to become? And that person I want to become is a little ways out there. I'm not them yet. That's the person I want you to be picturing. Not the financial goals, not the money, not the cars, not comparing yourself to other people. That right there is what we want to focus in on. Blissful dissatisfaction is living in a state of happiness in the present while still desiring to get to the next level of yourself. Okay. And so I'm going to ask you this question right now. I want you guys to pop through your answer in the comments box. Do your habits reflect your dreams and goals? I think a lot of us have huge habits, right? A lot of us have huge goals. A lot of us have these big things. We want to make the $1 million a year. We want to make $100,000 a year. We want to get in shape. We want to have good energy. We want to do whatever it is, right? But I want to ask you guys this. Do your habits reflect your dreams and goals? I'm going to be talking about something I call my discipline ceilings framework here in a bit that I created this year that's completely changed my life. And you guys, I told you a little bit ago that I'm doing this challenge in the month of December where I'm writing the number of miles for the day in the month. So on the 10th of December, I rode 10 miles, 20th, 20 miles, yesterday, 29, today, 30. And once again, I'm not a big cycler. You guys might be asking why. Well, it's because I was discovering as I was leading into 2021, I'm like, man, my ambitions that I have for myself and for my team and for the way I want to impact, guys, I don't have the disciplines to actually carry that through. Like my disciplines have gotten me to here, but now I need to adopt these other disciplines that are going to take me here and help be a lighthouse to other people. And I could not do it with my old disciplines. I had to do something in my life operating system. I'm going to teach you guys here in a bit to shock my system to get me new disciplines in place so I could then have my habits reflect my dreams and goals. How many of you guys have habits that are reflecting your dreams and goals? Right here, not so much. Okay, some of them, some do, working on getting everything aligned. I'd say yes, but no. Right here, let's see, hitting about 1/3 of activities I need to hit every day. Right here, nope. Learning and growing and praying. I love it. Working on mindset improvement each year. And guys, here's the thing. I don't want any of this to feel like pressure or like you're insufficient, right? Because at the end of the day, all of us, if we all have that vision of ourselves on who we want to become in the future, we all have habits and disciplines that we do not currently have in our lives today that we have to adopt in order to become that person. So every single person on this call does have habits and disciplines that are not in place right now that need to be in place in order for you to achieve what you want to achieve in life. And I'm going to show you guys what you need to do. Yep, Brent says, is this being recorded? 100%. Yep, it is for sure. All right, guys. So I want you guys to sit in this a little bit too. And this is one of the biggest things I want you guys to focus on today, right now, is so many of us, myself included, y'all, we step into the year, we step into our business, we step into the relationships that we have, and we go, you know what, I'm bringing all this crust forward. And I don't want to I don't want to have people around me think I'm weird, like coming in and being all motivated and being all inspiring and like starting to talk differently and starting to do all these things. But I want to give you guys permission right now. I want to give you guys permission that you are allowed to get up one day and just decide to change who you are. Okay, you're allowed to get up one day and decide to change who you are. You can dress differently. You can speak up more. You can laugh louder. You can speak more freely. Say hey to new people. Get that confidence going. We don't have to stay the way that people see us out of fear that they won't like the way out of fear that they won't like us. I can't talk. Out of fear that they won't like the us we want to be. You are allowed to wake up one day and just decide to change who you are. And I want that day to be today. I want you to grab a piece of paper right now, or your iPad or whatever it is, or sticky notes, whatever it is. I want you to grab a piece of paper right now. And I want you to write down, what are some of those limiting beliefs right now that you're holding in your mind that you're saying, man, if I become successful or if I start to do these things, these people are probably going to think I'm weird, or these people are probably going to look down on me. I want you to write down what those fears are. What are you afraid of right now to wake up tomorrow or to wake up today to change who you are and decide to be someone different? Okay, what are you afraid of? Are you afraid that you'll actually reach and be that person? Or are you afraid of that you won't? Are you afraid of that you'll quote unquote fail and not actually achieve that? Are you afraid of what other people are going to think? I can tell you guys and gals that whatever other people think or whatever you think other people think, that's on them. That's not on you. Okay. If you think that other people are going to look down on you because you start to show up with a different energy than you came into yesterday with, if you think other people are going to look down on you because now you got these big ambitions and they're going to make fun of you because they're like, oh, there's no way that you're ever going to reach them. Those thoughts that they're projecting on you are their own beliefs in themselves. They think there's no way that I would ever reach that, so therefore she probably can't either. They would think there's no way that I'm going to show up and be all motivating and have energy and help other people because I'm not a person that can do that right now. So don't let anyone else's perceptions be shoved on you. That's on them. That's on them. That's for you to acknowledge and go, oh, cool. I now know where you are. I now know where your mental state is. And I'm going to walk through one of my biggest mindset shifts in 2020 that is going to be helping you to help those people in an even greater way. So what we're going to be diving in today, guys, is this. What are we really after? Okay. Happiness versus joy. We're going to talk about habits, routines that'll help us get where we want to go. My concept called discipline ceilings that I'm using right now in December to really get massive momentum heading into 2021 that I discovered this year. I'm going to talk about being versus becoming. It's creating that vision for the person you want to become. A lot of us create those goals and the vision for our business. But the most important thing, y'all, is creating the vision for who you want to become, right? Because we can create the business, like I said, that starts churning in a bunch of cash. And then I've seen so many people who are just miserable because they have this great business to hit these goals. And they thought, man, when I hit these goals, all things are going to change within me. And I can tell you, you've got to change the inside of you first. So you have gratitude and gratefulness for everything you've got now. And you have a clear vision for who you want to become. I'm going to walk through my new life operating system, or as I call it, Life OS. And there's going to be a template you guys can copy. Okay. I plan my business the same way. So as I'm going through this, there's two sides of the coin. There's the personal side of the planning. There's the business side of the planning. So I'm going to be kind of jumping back and forth a little bit between both in the sections. Hey, here's the thing to do for personal stuff for 2021. Here's the thing to do for business. And at the end of it, you are going to get a one-page strategic plan copy that you can grab right here at the bottom of this. It's in PDF format right now, but we'll get it swapped out so you guys can fill it out in the other type of format. Okay. And then at the end, I'm going to bring on 1 to 2 people to do some live coaching, some Q&A, which would be a lot of fun. So let's dive in, y'all. Let's dive in. What are we really after? And I want you to really think about this. And like I said, I want everyone to play full out right now. Okay. The way that you play full out on this call right now is the exact way that you're going to show up in 2021. Okay. If you're going to be distracted, like I said, and have all this other stuff up behind you and trying to do this too, I bet that's how you're going to be in March. Like you're going to show up in March wondering why you're not moving on this stuff on your goals because you're just distracted. You're trying to do too many things. And so get focused right now. And I want you to take out that piece of paper. So I've got some exercises I want to walk you through. They're going to help you shift that mindset going into the new year. Okay. So what drives us to achieve more? And is it the right thing? Like, are we driven by the right thing? So I was doing some research, and year after year, there's this study that happens that's the happiest countries in the world study, right? The happiest countries in the world study. And year after year, it's these Scandinavian countries win the happiest in the world on the index. Now, does it really mean that they're the most fulfilled? Does it mean, there's a lot of variables, right? This one here just graded happiness. And I'm going to be talking about happiness and joy and the clear differences here in a bit. But you can see Finland, Denmark, Norway, Iceland, the Netherlands, Switzerland, Sweden, and then the US is down here at number 19. Okay. Now there's hundreds of countries in the world. So at least we're doing pretty darn good. We're in the top quartile, at least top 25%. But why is it that these Scandinavian countries are consistently and routinely happier year after year? Like what contributes to their happiness? I was reading up on articles and trying to look at it. And here's one thing. Well, they don't really work long hours, right? So in those Scandinavian countries, they have a different culture where they kind of work like an average of 37 hours. And this quote was in this article. It said, many Americans see working late as a badge of honor, a way to get ahead. In Denmark, it's seen as a weakness. It shows you can't get things done in the allotted work time. So I want you guys to read that again. Okay, working late and working long hours in some of these countries where they are perceived as the happiest people in the world. Okay, they see working long hours as a weakness because we're probably ineffective in our work, because we're probably doing too many things at once, because we're probably not clear on what the heck we even want. So we're trying to do all these different things. And at the end of the year, we not only don't hit those goals, we're not as happy. Okay, but we also are just tired and worn out because we're like, damn, I did so many things. Why did this not unlock for me? That might be the reason why. So I want to challenge you right now. How many hours are you working right now? How do you adjust your time in the new year in 2021 to where you're not optimizing for the number of hours I work, but you're optimizing for happiness and joy and what your business creates for you? And I'll show you guys how to do that. Another thing that they did is they spend a lot of time outdoors. Okay. How many people pop in the comments box? How many people love the outdoors? And how many people get like Guys, we have our carrot camp out here twice a year. One of the things that we do is we take people up into the mountains and go by the river, mountain bike, waterfall hike. We do that for a reason, because the outdoors are life. Like for me, that's where I get energy. I just get this sense of awe with being in the outdoors. You get to be disconnected from all this digital crap that helps like weighs us down. How many of you guys like to spend time outdoors? I would encourage you in 2021 to do a lot more of that. Okay, and in the exercise I'm going to walk you through here in a bit, I want you to write down things you're going to be doing to get outside more. That's going to add more joy. Okay, Scott says hiking and walking. I love it. Okay, they take a good amount of vacation. So right here, Alana says, retire my husband, more family vacations, more experiences. Well, in those happy countries, they take all of their vacation. It's actually seen as a terrible thing if you don't take all of your vacation. Here in the US, it's this weird thing, right? Where it's like people almost feel bad for taking their time off. Here at Carrot, we want people to take all of your time off. Like we actually don't roll over all of your vacation because we want you to take it off. We don't want to have people just work themselves to the bone. We want you to take your time off. Helps contribute to happiness. Okay, so what about you? So for me, when I'm the most happy, and I want you guys to, if you guys relate with any of these, pop them through the comments box, okay? For me, when I'm the most happy, I feel like I'm in positive momentum towards a better version for myself, okay? I want to restate that. There's been many times in my life, even in 2020, right, where financially, I've got everything I could possibly want. Right? I don't spend the money I've already got. The company's continuing to grow. My net worth is more than I ever thought it would ever be in my lifetimes, probably times 5. Okay. And it's a result of building a business based on purpose, not just on trying to hit revenue numbers. But even in those moments where I've got all these financial things nailed, an amazing wife and amazing kids and amazing friends, why sometimes am I not happy? Well, it's usually when I'm not in positive momentum. It's when I feel like I'm stagnant. It's when I feel like I'm not growing as a person. I'm not growing towards the person I want to become. That's when I'm the most happy, is when I am growing towards the person I want to become. When I'm doing challenges like I'm doing right now in December, where it's not easy, it doesn't make any financial sense to do it, but I'm happy because I'm in positive momentum. Okay, it's when I'm living in seasons. Okay, I absolutely love living in seasons. Do you guys remember back to grade school, high school, college, when you had summer break, you had winter break, you had spring break? Those are seasons. There are seasons that were created in our lives. But for some reason, when we become adults, oftentimes we lose those seasons. We just have one big ass season, which is called work, and that lasts 20 to 30 years with little mini vacations here and there. But do you guys remember back into school how amazing seasons were? How it made you look forward to that summer break. You planned some amazing things around it. It wasn't just a week off. It wasn't a few days off. It was a season in your life to transition and shift to the next part. How do we create more seasons in our lives? A couple of things we do here at Carrot that we started testing this year is some seasons. Okay, so for the last several years, I take all of July off. Okay. Now I wasn't able to do that until I was able to build a good team with processes and systems. But I take all of July off. So me and my family look forward to that season. This next year in 2021, in July, we're going to go to Yellowstone, and we're going to go to some other really cool spots and spend some time here in Oregon. That's part of our summer season. One thing that we tested this summer, and we tested in December as well, is helping to create a season for our team members. So you guys might have seen 4-day work weeks happening here at Carrot, and some days we didn't have full support capacity. It's because we're testing seasons for our team members too. How do we make it to where they can have an amazing winter season with a 4-day work week to spend more time with family? So we think that when they come back in January, they're going to be more invigorated, more energized, because they had that time to spend with family. Let's live in seasons more. Okay. When you're tackling challenges consistently, things aren't just easy. When you're sharing time with people when I'm sharing time with people that I care about every day and often, when I'm learning new things, I love it. Like that's when I'm happy, is when I'm learning things, not when I'm stagnant. Right. When I know I have a greater purpose outside of just earning an income. And that's one of the things that so many entrepreneurs struggle with. And I did as well for years. And I still do. I'm not going to say I'm done at that struggle. I still kind of go in ebbs and flows where I get so caught up in the goals and I have to pull myself out of it and go, oh, this is why I'm really doing this, right? Like this call, y'all, I'm not making money on this call. I'm doing this because I love to do it. It gives me energy. Okay. When I feel like I'm genuinely helping others. Okay. Those are the times I'm the most happy. Now, before I show you this quick video here, I do want to walk through, someone said something earlier There's some amazing stuff in here, guys. Someone said something earlier right here. So New Beginnings said, for the Epic 2021 package, I literally just purchased the 30-day challenge today, but I like to get this Epic package. Any way to refund? Yes, hit up support. They'll connect with you on it. But you guys might be wondering, what is the Epic package? If you guys are not Carrot members yet, right now is it's the perfect time to join Carrot, where you can get the advanced marketer plan. You're going to be able to save 50% on your first 2 months. So you'll pay $199 today, and then you're not going to have I think the way it works out is you're not going to have a second payment. So you're essentially going to save 50% on your first 2 months, okay? And you're going to get some bonuses. You're going to get our 30-day challenge, which is normally $100 by itself. That starts this coming week. You're going to be able to get access to that to get momentum into the new year, and some other amazing bonuses. So if you have not joined Carrot yet and you want to, right now is the perfect time to save and get access to this. If you're already a Carrot member, click this and check out what that offer is there. All right. That's my sales pitch for the day, guys. So I'm going to play you this video right here. It's one of my favorite videos of 2021. And at the end of the slide deck, I walk through my 5 favorite motivational videos. I think it's 5 or 6 of my favorite books for the year. So you guys can check it out. But I want you guys to listen to this.
We've all got 2 wolves in us, a good one and a bad one. And they both want to eat. The best I can tell, we just got to feed that good one a little more than the other one. Happiness is an emotional response to an outcome. If I win, I will be happy. If I don't, I won't. It's an if-then, cause and effect, quid pro quo standard that we cannot sustain because we immediately raise it every time we attain it. You see, happiness demands a certain outcome. It is result reliant. And I say, if happiness is what you're after, then you're going to be let down frequently and you're going to be unhappy much of your time. Joy, though, joy is a different thing. It's something else. Joy is not a choice. It's not a response to some result. It's a constant. Joy is the feeling that we have from doing what we are fashioned to do, no matter the outcome. Now, personally, as an actor, I started enjoying my work and literally being more happy when I stopped trying to make the daily labor a means to a certain end. For example, I need this film to be a box office success. I need my performance to be acknowledged. I need the respect of my peers. All of those are reasonable aspirations, but the truth is, as soon as the work, the daily making of the movie, the doing of the deed became the reward in itself for me, I got more box office, more accolades and respect than I ever had before. See, joy is always in process. It's under construction. It is in constant approach, alive and well in the doing of what we're fashioned to do and enjoying. And the easiest way to dissect success is through gratitude. Giving thanks for that which we do have, for what is working. Appreciating the simple things we sometimes take for granted. We give thanks for these things, and that gratitude reciprocates, creating more to be thankful for. It's really simple, and it works. Now, I'm not saying be in denial of your failures. No. We can learn from them too, but only if we look at them constructively as a means to reveal what we are good at, what we can get better at, what we do succeed at. Our life's a verb. We try our best. We don't always do our best. And since we are the architects of our own lives, let's study the habits, the practices, the routines that we have that lead to and feed our success, our joy, our honest pain, our laughter, our earned tears. Let's dissect that and give thanks for those things. And when we do that, guess what happens? We get better at them. And we have more to dissect. It's a get rich quick on the internet, richest 15 minutes of fame world that we live in, and we see it every day. But we all want to succeed, right? So the question that we've got to ask ourselves is what success is to us, what success is to you. Is it more money? That's fine. I got nothing against money. Maybe it's a healthy family. Maybe it's a happy marriage. Maybe it's to help others, to be famous, to be spiritually sound, to leave the world a little bit better place than you found it. Continue to ask yourself that question. Now, your answer may change over time, and that's fine. But do yourself this favor. Whatever your answer is, don't choose anything that will jeopardize your soul. Prioritize who you are, who you want to be, and don't spend time with anything that antagonizes your character. Don't drink the Kool-Aid, man. It tastes sweet, but you will get cavities tomorrow. All right, life is not a popularity contest. Be brave, take the hill, but first answer that question, what's my hill? Well, for me, it's a measurement of 5 things. We got fatherhood. We got being a good husband. We got my health, mind, body, and spirit. We got career, and we got friendships. These are what's important to me in my life right now. Because I want to keep all 5 in healthy shape. And I know that if I don't take care of them, if I don't keep up maintenance on them, one of them is going to get weak, man. It's going to dip too deep into the debit section. It's going to go bankrupt. It's going to get sick, die. So first, we have to define success for ourselves. And then we have to put in the work to maintain it. Take that daily tally. Tend our garden. Keep the things that are important to us in good shape. Defining ourselves by what we are not is the first step that leads us to really knowing who we are.
And y'all, guys, I could play that entire video, but we've got a link at the end of the slide deck. I'm going to give you guys a whole link. I watched this thing literally probably 15 times in a row when I first came across it. And I probably watch it 2 or 3 times a week just to remind myself. And one of the cool things about this, y'all, as we go through the rest of this training call, is I didn't listen to this until way after I had already started to adopt very similar things to what he's talking about. He talks about his 5 things. I've got 6 things, okay, that to really gauge and grade how you're doing in life. And the other things as well, guys. Success principles are standard. Success principles work for everybody who's willing to actually dive into them. Pop through the comments box if you guys loved and even had like something tug at your heartstrings when we were watching that video. I want you to go watch the rest of that video after this workshop, because it was, man, it changed things in a big way for me. I listen to it all the time. Okay. Right here, home buying, guys. I have chills. I love it. So we're going to talk about happiness and joy. We're going to talk about happiness and joy. Then we're going to dive into the other things that he had talked about that I also use in my life to have success in life and business. Okay. So what is the difference between happiness and joy? So much of us are chasing happiness, right? There's a million books. I've got books on my bookshelf that are based on trying to get happiness. Now, happiness is a great thing, but happiness and joy are completely different things. Happiness is an external thing. Okay. It's something that it's influenced by external factors. The surroundings around us change. Therefore, I'm going to be happy, right? The blue sky is out today. It's sun shining on my face. I'm happy because of this external thing. It depends on the circumstances around you. Happiness is an emotional response to something. Okay. Something happened. Therefore, I'm happy. I won the lottery. I'm happy. I won the game. I'm happy, right? Right. Happiness is an external, it's external, depends on circumstances, it's emotional response. Happiness is in having what you want. I wanted this thing. Now I've got the thing, right? It's external euphoria. This thing happened. Oh my gosh, because that I'm really, really happy. It's an effect. It's not the cause. It's the result of something else, oftentimes outside of your control happening. Sometimes it's inside of your control. It's inconsistent. Okay, sometimes happiness doesn't come up when you want it to because it's so externally focused, and it's temporary. Happiness takes a blip up. It's amazing. We love it. It's that endorphin hit, but it does not stay very long. Okay, what I want all of us to shift to in 2021 is joy. Okay, joy is internal. Joy is something that's there for the long term. It's eternal. Now you have to find your spot in where you get joy. I'm a believer in Christ, and that is where I get my long-term joy. Okay. But joy is eternal, independent of circumstances. Joy is within your heart, y'all. It doesn't matter what's happening to you outside. It doesn't matter if it's gray skies and raining outside right now or blue skies and sun shining. It doesn't matter if you won the game or lost the game. You can still carry forward and have joy in your heart most of the time. We're not saying to have it all the time, right? It's an act of your will, of your heart. Okay, it's wanting what you have versus having what you want, right? So the other side of it, happiness is, man, I bought the car because I reached these financial goals. I'm happy in the moment, but as we'll show you here in a bit, that happiness goes back down to your normal state. Joy is, you know what, man, everything that I've got right now that makes me so joyful. I want what I have. My wife, my kids, the car in my garage, the whatever it is, right? It's inner contentment. It's the cause, not the effect. It's the foundation of everything. It's consistent and it's eternal. I want us to shift towards joy in 2021. I saw the sticky note last year, and it so hit me. And guys, I want you to pop through if this is something you relate to. Remember when you wanted what you currently have. Guys and gals, remember when you wanted what you currently have. I want you to pop in the comments box right now something that you currently have, whether it's an income or a house or a car or a spouse or whatever it is. What do you currently have right now that sometime in the past you're like, man, I really, really want that thing. And when I hit that thing, things are going to be amazing. Okay, let me know in the comments box. Remember when you wanted something you currently have. What do you currently have right now that you thought, when I get that thing, things will change. I will be insanely happy. And now you've got a new thing that you currently want. Pop through the comments box. Okay, remember when you wanted what you currently have. So why is it in the US, life is markedly better than it's ever been? Okay, markedly better than it's ever been. Then why are we still craving more and better? And you guys came on this call wanting to learn how to set goals for business and grow the business and do more deals. And I'm going to help you do that. But I can guarantee you're going to be on this call not just so I can help you push and do bigger goals, not so you can have a BHAG. Okay, so many people are going to push you to think bigger. You're going to go into a mastermind and see people that are doing big deals. They're going to say, well, man, if you just do these 3 things, you're going to go from 2 deals a month to 10, and then your life is going to be so much better. That's not me, okay? I help you match your goals to what you want out of life, to what's going to help you be happy, fulfilled, to help you make your contribution to the world. And if it's 1 deal a month, amazing. If it's 100 deals a month, amazing. Your goals are your goals. I'm not going to push you to set bigger ones. I'm going to push you to set a bigger and clearer vision of yourself and a bigger, clearer vision of how you can impact the world. And let's bring your business goals behind that to serve that, not the other way around. All right. So there's something right here called hedonic adaptation. Okay. Actually, this right here, Roger, these are good ones. A true friendship with my children. Roger wanted that at one point and he's got it. That's amazing. Okay. I retired my wife this year. I love it. So that happened, right? Moving to a different area. Samantha wanted to move to a different area. It happened. A career that's lets me enjoy my family, musical instruments, replace my income, and become a full-time investor. Those are all things at one point you wanted that you did not have that now you have. We need to sit in that and have gratitude for the fact that you worked your butt off to earn that. Okay, here's a phrase I learned from my friend Seth Bueckley. It's a concept called hedonic adaptation. So we might be wondering, well, I achieved that thing and I was happy for a short amount of time, but why is it that happiness does not stick? Well, I drew this framework out. Happiness is the thing up on the left. Time is down here. And when you buy that car, you make that move, or you hit the income, or you hit the goal, or whatever it is, when good stuff happens, your happiness will increase. Okay, there will be an endorphin hit. It's a great thing. It's fun. It's awesome, right? But there's a natural state of what I'm going to call joy. Okay, the blue line is joy. There's a natural state of where you naturally lie in joy, and you're going to eventually pretty quickly go back to that natural state of joy. Okay, if your natural state of joy is low because you're always comparing yourself against others, or it's low because you're always comparing yourself against this future version of yourself that you may never get to, okay, then you're going to always be pushing for those happiness endorphin hits. You're going to buy the car. You've got the fancy car in the garage. It sits there for 3 months. You're pumped. And now you buy another one to fill that void, because now the old car that you bought is not filling the happiness void anymore. Or you bought the piece of clothes on Amazon. You went into here and bought the thing. You felt good because you love buying clothes. You love buying shoes or whatever it is. But after a month or 3 months or 2 weeks, that joy, that happiness is gone from buying the thing. You go out and buy more. And it's this vicious cycle where we end up buying so much crap that it suffocates our lives, and it makes it to where it's actually harder for us to be happy because we have so much stuff around us. The hedonic adaptation keeps us in that cycle. When bad stuff happens, it goes down for a little bit, then it pops back up to your natural state of joy. So the question is, how do we get off of this hedonic treadmill? All right, how do we get off this hedonic treadmill? You know, first of all, the consumer sees that, like, this is an example with a cell phone, right? Consumer sees that they want something, okay? They perceive happiness is going to come from the pursuit of getting that thing. It's the car, it's the income, it's the spouse, it's the whatever it is. They buy the thing, okay, because they think that's going to give them happiness. They are happy, okay? Your happy for a short amount of time as a result of getting the thing, but now your life adapts to it. That happiness is short-lived. You return back to your set point of joy after you adapted to it, and now you go see a new, greater thing, y'all, and you're always on this treadmill, right? There's a concept I came across called Ikigai. Years ago, and I first taught it at one of our carrot camps here several years ago. And Ikigai is a concept that I try to center back to often. Whenever I find myself in that hedonic adaptation cycle, where I see the thing and I go get it, and I'm like, you end up pulling back and go, why am I not as happy as I should be? I usually pull up this Ikigai graphic. And I read these things here. I read these to see what symptom I'm experiencing right now. Am I experiencing satisfaction, but it's a feeling of uselessness? Am I feeling comfortable, but a feeling of emptiness? And that's kind of usually where I go back into if I'm not doing exactly what I love to do. And if I'm feeling comfortable, but a feeling of emptiness, it means I'm doing something I could be paid for. I'm doing something that the world needs, right? You guys need leads. You guys need to grow your businesses. And I'm pretty darn good at this thing. But when I get caught up in the daily work of things that I don't love to do, administration stuff, doing other things that don't light me up, this call lights me up. When I get stuck in doing things I don't love to do, I feel comfortable but empty. So then I always have to go, how do I add more and more of what I love back into my work? More and more of what I love back into my work. And that keeps me in Ikigai more and more. And it keeps me from chasing those short-term highs of buying the car, of buying the thing, of buying whatever. Like McConaughey said, y'all, it's not the getting of the reward. It's not the getting of the award that you're going for. It's the daily love of the craft that you're in. So I want to challenge you guys in 2021. How do you build in more of what you love into your work? Because then hitting those financial goals doesn't really matter all that much. What matters is, did I love showing up to work today because I'm good at it? Because the world needs the service I've got. I can be paid well for it. And I absolutely love the things I'm doing more days than not. Okay, that's where I want you guys to be this next year. So you can get off of that hedonic cycle and away from trying to get those short-term hits. We want to have you enjoy more, and enjoy is right there in Ikigai. All right. So if you guys don't know who I am, I'm going to do a little bit of a late introduction here, but my name is Trevor. I'm the CEO of a company called Carrot. All right. And Carrot actually has been on the Inc. 500, 5,000 list. It's either 3 or 4 years in a row, which only happens like less than 4% of any company that ever makes the list. And guys, I wrote on my life list 10 years ago, I wanted to hit the Inc. 500, 5,000 list one time. And I never had a clue how I would ever do it. I didn't have the idea for Carrot, had no clue. I didn't think I would ever be capable of running a company that would do that. We'd hit it 4 times in a row. So why is it and how is it that I've been able to do that here at the company when before I had these massive limiting beliefs? One thing I'm really proud about is we've been named 2 years in a row, actually one of the most philanthropic small businesses in the state of Oregon. We take a lot of what we're doing to help our clients, help you guys grow. And we say, how do we impact our communities now? And we set up something we call our Carrot Charitable Giving Fund. We're 40 full-time team members now. My husband, my beautiful wife, Carly. This was taken this last week at Christmas. I got Sydney on the left, my Colton, my little man in the middle, McKinley, my oldest, and our little dog, Lily, who we got last Christmas. I'm really passionate, y'all, about amplifying leaders and entrepreneurs so you can make your greatest impact. And so this right here is something that I think a lot of us fall into. This is how many of us live our lives. Right? The first 20 years, we're living, we're laughing, we're learning to play, we're loving, we're enjoying life in a big way. And then we get into the real world, right? You got to go get a job and you start to see all these goals and the world's opened up around you and there's all these people. And in that 20 to 60 range, this is where most people live their life. They're trying to survive Monday to Friday. They live for the weekends. They're getting drunk on the weekends because they're trying to pacify that emptiness they're feeling 5 days of the week. They stop learning. They start watching Netflix all the time and they stop picking up books. They stop trying to learn new hobbies and learn new skills. And they just feel, this is just my lot in life. Let me get through to retirement, right? They complain about how hard and how unfair life is. They see someone else succeeding really well and they say, oh, of course he can do it. Or it must be nice, right? I get that quite a bit. It must be nice. But yeah, it must really be nice when I'm up at 5 a.m, busting my butt doing this thing when you're sleeping in. That must be nice, right? That must be nice. Okay. And they work without the vision for where they can go to get better. And then in that 65 to 80 range, they're kind of tired and they regret not tackling things that they wanted to tackle in life. They wish they could be young again because they didn't use those most vital years to live life to the fullest. And they kind of wait for death. You know, like we end up working our lives in a job that we don't like. And that is why being passionate about what we do is so important. We don't want to live an empty life. I'm going to help you guys not live an empty life in this call. Okay. And one of the things I want you guys to do is go to Instagram, find me, trevor.mock, follow me over there. So I'm documenting my journey right now as we speak on my mindset shifts going into 2021. I'm documenting behind the scenes way more than I'm even able to on this call, what I'm doing to change my life, to grow, to be a better father, husband, better entrepreneur. Go follow me over there, y'all. I'd love to chat with you. DM me. I answer all my DMs personally. All right. So I want you guys to step out of this. I want you to look at yourself and say, am I doing what this graphic says? Am I just trying to survive Monday through Friday? Okay. Am I living for the weekends? Have I stopped learning? You guys have not stopped learning. That's why you're on this call. I want you guys to shift out of this and share this. Take a picture of this slide right here, guys. Take a picture of this slide, share it on Instagram, share it on Facebook, tag someone that you know that is likely in a spot where they're living that life that's mapping out. We need to inspire them to get out of this. Okay. So my theme 3 years ago, and I've revived this theme for 2021, is the ultimate goal as an entrepreneur isn't money, it's complete control of your time. My theme for 2021 is to win back my time. And I'll talk about that here in a bit, how I'm going to do that. Okay. And when we talk about winning back our time, we say, well, why is it important that we win back our time in 2021? Why is it that we're not just working our butts off, 60 hours a week when the happiest people in the world in Denmark and stuff are averaging 37? Well, it's because we don't have a lot of time. And I showed this slide several years ago, and I had a lot of people hit me up after it and say, oh my gosh, that thing hit me hard. Okay. And so I got this from a website called waitbutwhy.com. And each one of those dots essentially is a month in your life, starting all the way up here from birth, right? That's your first month. Each one of these rows is 36 months or 3 years. So that's the first 3 years, that's 9 years. This is the 30th birthday. This one's pointing to about where I am. I'm 38 right now. So it's about where I am. So according to this, I'm almost to halfway through the number of months I've got allotted for me, right? That's the 60th birthday. This is about where my parents are right here. This is where my grandparents are down here. And it really helps to give a lot of context, y'all, that we're not going to be around forever. We're not going to be around forever. And I think it's so easy for all of us to let ourselves be complacent going into the next year because we're afraid to take a leap. We're afraid to dive in and challenge ourselves. We're afraid to take a chance on ourselves to actually become the person that we know we're destined to be. And I don't want you to look at this graphic in next year at this time next year, look back and go, damn, I wasted another one of those bubbles. Damn, I don't have as many of those bubbles as I thought I did. Right? I want you guys to look at every single one of those bubbles as an opportunity to change your life and to continue to get momentum. Okay. I want you right now to take this picture even and plot where you are on it. Okay. Where are you on it? Are you up here where I am? Are you back here? Are you somewhere over here? Guys, that's how many months you have left. If I were to look at this and go, okay, that's that month, that one's gone. That's that month, that one's gone. That's that month, that one's gone. Guys, how many of us, and pop it through the comments box, how many of us are taking these bubbles, taking these months and almost like throwing them out the window like you don't care, like it's a penny? Okay, these things you cannot get back. You cannot go back and claim another one of those months. You cannot go back and claim another one of those years. And I think all of us have those months and years where we're like, geez, I did not take a chance on myself this year because of outside influences, because of insecurities, because of limiting beliefs, because I thought, I was fearful of what will happen if I leave my job. What will happen if I take this chance? What will happen? I want to ask you guys, what's 100% going to happen if you do not take this chance in 2021? Okay, flip that script. A lot of us get fearful of what will happen if I do this. I want you to flip the script in 2021. What will happen if I do not do this with 100% certainty? With 100% certainty, if you don't take a chance on yourself, if you don't step into those goals, if you don't leave that job, if you don't do whatever it is you want to do, if you don't do those things, you're guaranteeing yourself a 100% chance that will not happen. Okay, I want you guys to give yourself a chance and crush it. Take a picture of this, share it up. So what if we're sitting in the doctor's office? I want you guys to take out that piece of paper I asked you to do. And this is something I usually reserve for carrot campers. But at carrot camp, we really dig deep. We have good discussion on it. It's crazy emotional every time. And I want every one of you to engage in this. Engage in this, guys and gals, because this right here can change your life. And then we're going to dive into the theme setting, the goal setting, going to give you the frameworks to really dial it in. But if I just show you guys how to set up goals, and I don't start to shift your mindset first, I think you might be setting goals for the wrong things like I did for years, right? So I want you to picture this and grab a piece of paper and just bear with me here, okay? Imagine that you are in a doctor's office and that doctor looks you square in the eye and says, you've got 24 hours to live. It's 11 o'clock right now, 11 o'clock tomorrow. You will no longer cease to exist here on earth. You're going to be gone. But here's a caveat. You cannot tell anybody that you know about this prognosis. You have 24 hours to live. You cannot tell anybody about this prognosis. I want you to take out that piece of paper, grab a pen, grab a pencil, whatever it is. And I want you to write down, what would you do in that 24 hours? What would you do in that 24 hours? That last 24 hours that you had, and you cannot tell your loved ones that you have this prognosis. You can't tell them that you're going to pass away in 24 hours. Take out the piece of paper. We're going to take a minute here. What would you do? Okay, I'm going to turn on a little bit of deep focus music here from my Spotify playlist, and grab a minute and write down, what would you do in that 24 hours? Who would you talk to? What would you say? What have you not said to loved ones that you're like, man, I would definitely need to say this? What loose ends are still not tied up with relationships, with friends, with family? Would you document anything for, if you have kids, would you document anything for your kids? What would you say? So I'm going to give you about 30 seconds more, a micro version of this exercise I go through at Carrot Camp. Write down what you would do, what you would say in that last 24 hours of your life if you could not tell anyone that day was your last. Okay, guys, just for sake of time in this call, I want you to come back to that exercise and I want you to finish it out. And I want you guys to pop through the comments box. What are some of the things that you guys and gals would do in that last 24 hours? Who would you talk to? What would you say? What conversations have not been had? You know, what are some of those things that are just tugging at you, saying, you know, I'll have that conversation with someone someday. I'll finally do that thing someday. I'll finally document these things to my kids or to my spouse or my mom or my dad or my brother or sister. What are those things? If anyone is brave and would like to be vulnerable, pop through the comments box. What are some of those things you would do and say in that first 24 hours? Now, while someone's stepping up to do that, what I want to pose you with next is now imagine you're sitting in that same doctor's office. That same doctor's looking at you and saying, you know what? You've got a week to live. Okay, you've got 1 week to live, 7 days from now. So Wednesday next week at 11:08 p.m. or 11:08 a.m., you are not going to be around. You're going to cease to exist here on earth. You've got a little bit more time. On that same piece of paper right below that, okay, right, what would you do in that week that you had left? That's enough time to go travel somewhere. It's enough time to tie up some of those loose ends for your spouse if you don't have life insurance, or if you need to kind of actually like document all your banking stuff for your spouse because you've been holding it near and dear. What are those things you would do in that week, right? It's a little bit more time. Would you film any videos for your kids? I'm going to give you guys some context. So when I first did this exercise in 2012, I had my daughter and my son at that time. And I was like, man, I don't have any life insurance. First of all, if I passed away, and I think I'm not going to, right? But if I passed away, my life would be, my wife would be left with a mess. Okay. I need to get life insurance like now. And so I did. Literally that next week, I got life insurance. Guys, we don't know what life is going to do for us or with us. I want to be really vulnerable with you guys here, because this was a very painful thing for our family this past week. And we stepped into the holidays this past week, obviously celebrating the holidays, celebrating the season, celebrating Christ, celebrating family. And one of our family members, actually close family member, passed away on Saturday, the day after Christmas, from COVID. And we weren't able to see her that Christmas week. The last time that we saw her was, a little over a month ago. And it happened so fast. And we were literally talking with her that day, the day that she passed. And the day before on Christmas, we were talking with her. We couldn't see her because she was quarantined, and everything just happened insanely fast. 1 second, her beautiful, just bright energy was around, and the next second it was extinguished. And I'm getting emotional just even saying this, but it's so fresh in our minds right now that I'm like, oh my gosh, y'all. I think it's so easy that we think we're going to be around next week. We think we're going to be around tomorrow. We think we're going to be around next year or in 10 years. What if we're not? Like, what are some of those things that we need to be doing right now that we're not doing? We're going to set all these goals for business. Amazing. Go set up this marketing campaign. Go set up Carrot. Do all this crap, right? It's all good stuff. But what happens if you're not here? What happens if your spouse isn't here anymore? What happens if someone you love is gone in a moment, in a flash, in something that happened, and we're planning out 10 years ahead, and we don't even know if we're going to be here for dinner tomorrow? Okay. What are some of those things that you would do in that week? Now I'm going to stretch it out. I do a longer version of this at Carrot Camp. I'm going to stretch this out now. Same scenario. You're sitting in the doctor's office. Doctor looks you square in the eye and says, okay, you're not going to like this prognosis, but you have about 10 years to live to this date. Okay. 2030, December 30th at 11 a.m. You're going to cease to exist here on earth. You're going to pass away 10 years from right now in this moment. It's a little bit of a different equation, right? It's a ticking time clock, but it's a ways out. Like 10 years is enough time to get a lot done. 10 years is enough time to completely push forward your life's mission, your purpose, whatever it is. Write down, what would you do in that 10 years? What would your business look like in that 10 years? What would you be doing for your business? Okay, would you be doing something different than you currently are now? What would you be doing purpose-wise to push forward during that 10 years? Because you would probably be working, right? In the 24-hour version, I hope none of you wrote anything about working. Hopefully there was no one in there about working at all in the first 24 hours. Maybe if you had a week to live, you might tie up some loose ends and stuff. You might make that trip to go see your parents or whatever it is. And you'd hopefully document some things for your family or for your children. But in that 10 years, you go, okay, this is enough time to where I'm not going to be living day to day in the mindset that I'm passing away tomorrow, but I know my clock is ticking. I'm just going to do the work that's the most important to me, the work that's the most passion filled. Write that down. Let's spend 30 seconds. I'll turn the music back on. I want you to write down, what would you do in that 10 years now? What would you do for work? What would that look like? How would you impact? What's that dream that you would finally push forward? Who would you want to impact? How would your business look different? What would your work day look like? Would it look different than it does now? So I'm gonna bring this music down, and we're going to come back in, and then we're going to move on. We're going to start planning stuff out. Okay. But I want a few vulnerable people to pop in here. How did that change for you? The 24 hours, y'all, so many of those cool things you guys were popping up there, like this right here, Jesse's, dude, you're 100% true. The reality is we do have that prognosis. That's why I'm doing this exercise. It's so easy for all of us. I get caught up in it all the time to think, man, I'm going to be here forever. And we end up wasting that time. We throw those months away. We throw those moments away with our family. And I've got a lot of that I need to work on. But right here, spend time on the beach with my wife, praying, praising, thanking God for the many blessings in my life. Encourage all to live every day curiously without fear or regret, and don't hold on to negativity. Okay, spend time with my fiance, hiking and making her smile. This one right here, Roger, dude, this is really, really vulnerable. Write apology letters to my 2 ex-spouses. Tell my kids how much I love them. Finalize power of attorney. Tell a certain person I love her. Guys, this is what I want you guys to get from this. Everything that you put in that first 24 hours and first week are things you should be doing right now. And I want you to write down action items for this call. Your first action items for this call are not business related whatsoever. Your first action items for this call, y'all, are within 24 hours to do those things that you wrote down. Because those things in the first 24 hours are the most important. Everything else melts away that's less important. Everything in your business melts away at that point in the 24 hours. Everything, all the crap, all the stuff in your house melts away. Just the most important stuff pops up. The things that are left undone, that are tugging at you saying, this needs done. Okay, I want you to write that down. I want you guys to promise me within the next 24 hours, do those things. Roger, dude, write those letters today. That's the most important thing you could possibly do, honestly, is write those letters. Write those letters to your ex-spouses. Tell your kids how much you love them today. Okay, reach out to the attorney to get that power of attorney finished, and tell that certain person that you love her. Roger, can you commit to that, man? And I want everyone to do the same. I want you guys and gals to do this stuff. Okay, I want you guys and gals to do this stuff. This is what your focus should be heading into 2021. Now, as you have that 1 week, that 10-year time span, that's where you'd start to go, okay, if I had 10 years or a month or a year, here's how I would change my business. Guys, change the business in 21 to fit that now. Like, do it now. Don't wait 5 years. Don't wait 10 years. Don't wait until you have the prognosis that you're not going to be around forever. Don't wait until it's too late to even do that. Okay? Awesome, guys. Cool. We're going to move on. So let's dive into life operating system. Guys, can you guys pop through the comments box? Are you getting something out of today's call so far? It's called the Epic Planning Call. This is not a 90-minute call. It's not an hour call. It's usually a couple hours. We're going to take Q&A. I'm going to be here as long as you guys need me to. I want to help change your future in 2021 because I want to help you guys to create more of an impact in your communities. This is more than about me. This is more than about Kara. This is more than about you. Okay, I'm going to talk about my Lighthouse and tugboat concept here in a second as one of my biggest takeaways and what you guys can get away from it too. Okay, guys, please. Jay says, Roger's making me cry. I love it. Guys, do that. That stuff, it should be making you cry. Okay, the first time I did this and every time I do it now, the stuff in the first 24 hours, if it starts to make you emotional, it's because you're not doing that thing and you know you need to. It's that stuff that makes you the most emotional in that first 24 hours to 1 week. It's that stuff that you need to do now. It's tugging at you because you know it's so important, but you've left it undone because it's probably hard, because it's vulnerable, because it's easy, or because it's not easy. Okay. Awesome. So what's in the Life OS? We're going to talk about vision. We're going to talk about my 6 F's principle, discipline, ceilings, being versus becoming, the challenge-based life. And then we're going to go through the processes here. So I'm going to talk about Lighthouse and tugboat here in a second, Albert. It changed my game. Okay. So right here, guys, why an operating system for life? So we all have these devices here in our hands. We got cell phones. I'm on a computer. You guys are probably on computers or iPads. Each one of those has an operating system. And the definition of an operating system is essentially, it's like a set of core software on a device that keeps everything together. Okay. It keeps everything together. So on your cell phone, it's iOS if you have an iPhone, and it's the software that makes all of your apps work. It's the software that does everything, ties it all together. Now, this is something that I came to this realization earlier this year. Is I always had a bunch of random stuff, right? Like I had this little process for planning. I had this little process for getting out of mental funks. I had this little process for doing this. I had this little process for doing this. And I pulled back. This is probably, this was in March or April when I was kind of in one of those funks. And I just said, I know there's things that I do that get me out of these funks, but why do I not have something I can continue to go back to over and over again that works, like an operating system? Why don't I have something I can go back to that's documented, that works, I can just execute and gets me out of it, when all of these devices do that? And so I sat back and started to write, what would my ideal life operating system include? Like, how do I create something that I live within this operating system and it keeps everything together? It keeps my goals together. It keeps my momentum together, my energy, my aspirations, my vision. If I get off track, it helps bring me back on track. How do I create that operating system? So my life operating system is built off of 6 things. You heard McConaughey talk about his 5. These are my 6. Okay. It's faith, family, friends, fitness, finances, fun. These are currently the 6 things in my operating system that I want to optimize for in my life. Okay. Faith, family, friends, fitness, finances, and fun. And we'll talk about each one of these here in a bit. Okay. So right here, this might, someone's life might look like this. Very rarely is our operating system, is our 6 F's all going to be equal. Like McConaughey said, you're going to focus in on one over here and another one's going to get weak. It's kind of natural. And we've got to always find ourselves adjusting, looking at these and grading ourselves and creating challenges to be able to come out of them. Yours might look something like this, where you're having a lot of fun. Your finances might be crushing it. Your faith might be high, but man, your relationships with family are terrible and your fitness might be terrible. Okay. Yours might look different, where your fitness is crushing it, but your finances are way down here. Faith is way down here. You're having a lot of fun, but your family relationships are terrible. Okay. We're going to be able to go through and grade ourselves here in a second. Oh, yep. Sorry about that. Let me see how I can get rid of that comment. 1 second, guys. Bam, there we go. Thanks for that call out. Awesome. So we're going to be walking through the 6 F's here in a second to grade yourself. But first, we're going to look back. Whenever I do any planning, the first thing I always do is I look back. Now, I don't look back as a way to anchor me. This quote right here, I've been thinking about this. Like, what should the past be for us? You know, the past isn't meant to be an anchor on our lives. It's meant to be the very thing that helps propel us forward into a greater vision of ourselves. Okay. The past isn't meant to be an anchor on our life. It's meant to be the very thing that helps propel you forward into a greater vision of yourself. It's like a rubber band. In order for a rubber band to work, you have to pull the rubber band back. You've got to stretch it back. And then only when it's stretched backwards can you let it go and it goes forward. Okay. If we only look forward, if we only look towards dreams, visions, goals in the future, and we don't look backwards to say, what have I learned? What's working? What's not working? What can I adjust? You're not going to end up propelling yourself forward as fast. Use the past as something that propels you forward, not as an anchor. Okay. Take a picture of this, share it up on Instagram, tag me to it, @Trevor.mock. All right. So let's dive in. So this is what I do anytime I'm diving into to start my planning. And you guys can take this slide deck. You can start to type it out yourselves. Once again, go and click make a copy. So I'm going to exit out of the presentation. Go right here, go down to make a copy and do entire presentation. If you click the share button, it will not do anything for you. It'll send us a bunch of emails saying this person requests access to edit it. We're not going to give you access to edit it, but what I want you to do is go down to file, click make a copy. And you'll probably have to go on this page. You might have to go and just refresh the page because our team updated those links. So it's not the PDFs anymore. This link now is the editable slide deck. And like I said, click that link, go up here to file and click make a copy. And then you'll be able to have a copy of this exact slide deck that I'm working on right now. Okay. So what I want you guys to do is dive in here and write, what are you most proud of first? I want you guys to play along here because the 1 or 2 people that play along the best and engage in the comments, I'm going to bring on live and we're going to be able to coach you towards the end of this call. Okay. So what are you the most proud of? For me, one of the things I was the most proud of in 2021 was the way I shifted into a better mindset around coaching leaders. Okay. Another thing I'm really proud of in 2021 was just more time with family. That was definitely a big silver lining, I think, of COVID and the pandemic is, man, so much amazing time with family is so amazing. And I don't want that to go away. I don't want that to go in 2021. So I'm going to be adjusting some of the things schedule wise, some other things like that. Man, I'm really proud of my team and the way that they're stepping up. they're stepping up. So I've got my own version of mine here. I'm just kind of playing along with you guys here, but I want you to write down 3 to 5 things that you're the most proud of for 2021. Okay. And then kind of jumping off of that, what are some other wins that you had for this past year? Okay. What are some of the other wins? It could be, man, I reached this goal. I lost this weight. I did this thing. I ran this race, whatever it is. Always start looking back. Always start right there, acknowledging and having gratitude in what you currently have right now. Going back to that sticky note, guys, what do you currently have right now that at one point in time you wished you had? Let's have gratitude in that. Let's celebrate it. Let's back and just go, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful and so proud of myself for these things here. Okay, let me launch into presentation mode. I'm going to give you a picture tour of some of the things that I'm most proud of for 2021. Okay, right here, we had carrot camp. We were able to have 1 carrot camp. We weren't able to have 2 of them, but I'm so proud that we were able to pull it off and did it safely. And it was so much fun. It was like, it was an amazing group. The group gelled so well. There's so many amazing wins, 3 or 4 returning carrot campers. It was an amazing event. It was like one of my favorite carrot camps ever. For years, y'all, this was one of the goals that I'd been putting out for years was I want to actually start fly fishing more. And so my friend Seth Bueckley on the left, and then my new friend Jason Atkinson on the right, he pretty much fly fishes every day. Seth hit me up and said, hey man, I'm going fly fishing. You want to go with me? And so that kicked off me fly fishing a little bit more this year. That's on the Rogue River. And I have been going on the Umpqua River as well. Okay. Erica says, I only have access to PDF. You need to refresh this page that we're on and then click the play button on the YouTube deal again. Okay. I finally got my first round of golf in at Bandon Dunes here in Oregon. It's one of the best golf courses in the world. And my friend and team member here at Carrot, Levi, nudged me on that one. And we had a chance to go out and get 2 rounds in at Bandon Dunes. Actually, it was like one of the best days of the entire year of 2020. It was just so fun and so awesome. Okay. Right here, it's me fly fishing again. That's Mr. Pace Morby in the background. He popped up here for a few days. I got him up in the river and introduced him to fly fishing. Some other things right here. We spent a lot of time on the river as a family. We moved to the river for a reason. We wanted to be on the river more. And going back and looking at these pictures, and this is what I do each year, guys. I'm walking you through my process. I'm not showing you this to show you how cool I am or any of that. I'm showing you exactly what I do. Like I put pictures in. I go back and look at my year and just put pictures in a slide deck so I can refer back to it year after year. And on the things I'm most grateful for. There's me and my son, Colton, on the kayak, and my wife and my 2 daughters in the kayak behind me. We kayaked a section of the river that we never had, and it was fun. And we finally did something we wanted to do that we hadn't been doing for years. We spent more time at the lake. Okay, we spent more time at the lake. That's us at the dock at the lake house up at a lake here in Oregon called Lake of the Woods. We want to do that more and more this next year as well. I ran my first half marathon. So that was one of my goals that I said I would never want to do anything with the marathon, but I felt I was getting into a sluggish spot. I was getting into this spot of complacency in spring when the pandemic really hit. And my coach actually nudged me. He's like, dude, you need a challenge. And so I did something I thought I could never, ever do in my life. I was something I haven't told the story a lot, y'all. I was born with a syndrome. It was a skeletal syndrome with a big, long name called cleidocrinial dysautosis. And I didn't really know that I had it until I was about 12. My brothers are both 6 feet tall. My dad's 6 feet tall. I'm not. I'm 5'6". I had 2 pretty major surgeries growing up, one when I was 12 and one when I was 14, on my teeth. And that was part of the thing from the syndrome is you end up growing a bunch of teeth. I had 32 teeth pulled between my 12-year birthday and my 14-year-old birthday. Guys, 32 teeth pulled out of my mouth. Okay. So you can imagine how my junior high and high school years were, right? When I had half of my teeth in the front missing, they're trying to pull teeth down, extra teeth down. I had a fake tooth. Sometimes I didn't have teeth. Guys, I didn't talk a lot in junior high and high school, okay? Because I was missing teeth. And then also the reason I bring this up with the running is my joints from the syndrome. My joints just are not very good. I had some big problems in high school and college when I played baseball with my hip and some other things. And I had these limiting beliefs that I've carried with me my whole life that I can never run a long distance because of this syndrome. I can never run a long distance because of X. And I had the same limiting beliefs that I'm never going to be someone who's going to be out talking in front of people and inspiring people and doing that, because I was so shy in high school and in junior high because I just didn't have teeth. I didn't talk a lot. And I had to overcome that in my 20s and 30s because I have such a big mission. I want to serve so many people that I had to get okay with casting that limiting belief aside and saying, you know what, screw that. I'm just going to become the type of person that I need to be in order to help as many people as I can and get rid of those insecurities about talking about my teeth. Okay. And I did the same thing this spring with the running. I said, well, have I ever ran a half marathon? The answer is no. Well, I really don't know if it's going to wreck my joints unless I do it. Right. And so I started training with it. And there's Brady in the background on my team. There's Seth over there, my friend and mentor. They ran it with me. I trained. Guys, my hips didn't hurt. My bones are just fine. I'm not damaged. Okay. It was a limiting belief that's holding me back, and I'm so proud about it. Okay. So right here, here's another one. We started a charitable fund. We put $500,000 into a charitable fund that we're investing into our communities. We got our first dog. That was another limiting belief. Hey, dogs are going to be paying the butt. It's going to limit us. Guys, that's one of the most joyful things in 2020 is finally getting a little puppy. I started picking up cycling. And that's another big thing, a big mindset shift. I've ridden almost 500 miles this month already. And man, my mindset shifts have been massive. Okay, so I want you guys to take some pictures, put them on that slide, swap mine out for yours, and celebrate. Go back on your Instagram, go back on your Facebook, whatever it is, put in those amazing memories so you can look at them next year, the year after, the year after, the year after. For me, putting the pictures in there adds the emotion. Putting the pictures in there reminds me of the exact moment, not just the words on paper. Okay, so after we celebrate what was great, now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be moving forward and saying what wasn't so great. Okay, one of the things I had set out to do in 2020 was to learn how to swim. That's another vulnerable thing. I'm not a great swimmer. I'd never really swam much. I never really, we weren't a big family that went to the river or to the ocean or swam or anything like that. And so I was always really embarrassed about that growing up. You know, I wouldn't go to the pool parties. I wouldn't do that kind of stuff. And it's because I didn't take that chance on myself early on and to let those insecurities creep in. And it wasn't until I started having children and I was picturing myself, you know, I'm going, man, let's say we're on a boat somewhere. Let's say we're at the coast and we're up there on the pier and, you know, down there is the ocean. And one of my kids somehow goes over the edge. It would absolutely tear me up for the rest of my life if I could not jump in and save him. Absolutely tear me up for the rest of my life if I could not jump in and save him. And so that's the reason I said, I'm going to learn how to swim. But guys, that was not a good one for me this year. Now I did swim more this last year than I ever had. I guys, until this last summer, I'd never jumped off of a diving board into a deep end of a pool. Now, what helped me do that? I did it finally this last year was my 8-year-old son and my 6-year-old daughter, who had also never swam in a pool, in a deep pool. Okay. We have a shallow pool at home. They got in and we didn't take their life jackets to the swimming pool. We said, okay, they're good enough. We're just going to remove those limiting beliefs from them and force them to swim. They dove right in and swam the crap out of that thing. No life jackets. They were diving down to the bottom of the 10-foot pool, touching with their hand, coming up. I'm going, oh my gosh, if those kids, a 6 and an 8-year-old, can do that, what have I been holding on to for 38 years that has made it so I don't have the confidence to do it? And so I got up on that darn diving board. My son was over there. I'm like, Colton, cheer me on, buddy. I'm going to do this. I jumped off the darn diving board. I swam to the edge. I'm starting to tear up right now. It's so silly that I'm even doing that. I swam to the edge. I'm like, oh my gosh, I did this thing that I've been fearful of my entire life. And I did it over and over and over and over again. But I still haven't learned how to swim. So that's something I'm going to be really nailing. It's going to be one of my core things this next year, learning how to swim. And one of the challenges I'm going to do is I'm going to be doing a sprint triathlon this next year. Okay, I got the running in, I got the biking in 2020, but I didn't get the swimming in. So I'm going to get all three in 2021. So I want you to write down, what are some of those things that you'd hoped you'd accomplish in 2020, but you didn't? You be honest with yourself. Pick the things that you have been carrying forward year after year. Let's make 2021 that you're not going to carry them forward ever again. Okay, you're going to carry them forward ever again. All right. And then right here, what are some things you'd like to get better? I want to be more spontaneous with my wife and kids. That's something I'm just not great at right now. I want to be way more spontaneous. I want to have no excuse. I want to have a no excuses attitude when some things get hard. Sometimes I let some excuses creep up, right? It's like, well, I've got this webinar to do. I'm not going to get that workout in, or I'm not going to do this, or, well, COVID hit. So I didn't learn how to swim because the YMCA swimming pool shut down. And so therefore I didn't have a private pool to go to. You know what, guys? No excuses. I didn't freaking reach out to anybody to find a private pool to go swim into. Okay. I should have. There's no excuses. Okay. So I want to be more consistent with my daily disciplines that are just part of my life. Up until December, y'all, up until the month of December, I have never in my life ever proactively done something every single day of the month on purpose. Like there's a lot of bad habits I've done every single day of the month, right? Look at my iPhone or whatever it is. But I'm talking like wake up at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. every day, or run every day, or bike every day. I've never done anything in my life to where every single day I haven't missed a day in an entire month. And it was something healthy and a new discipline habit. Guys, December is the month. I have ridden my bike every single day in the month of December. I've added an extra mile every single day. It's got harder as the month has got on, not easier, but my mindset shift because of the everyday has been massive. So I want to have more daily consistent disciplines because the mindset shift there, guys, it opens up the world to you when you start to do these things daily, not just once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week. I want to be a better lighthouse for the leaders at our company here. I don't think I've been a great example for them as leaders, and I'm going to be in 2021. And have me not be the functional operator at Carrot on the daily basis. I'm still going to be the CEO of Carrot. I'm still going to be full-time in Carrot, but I don't want to be operating this company on the daily basis where I have to be in every meeting. And so I'm going to be working with my team to get that elevated so I can serve you guys better. Okay. So here's my 3 biggest mindset shifts for 2020. And these are going to relate to every single one of you guys. So what I want you guys to do is I'm walking you through this workshop in the way that I go through my planning. So if you guys think, hey, well, Trevor's just talking about his 3 biggest mindset shifts. What I want you to do is take the same slide deck, write in your 3 biggest mindset shifts. Write in those so you can immortalize them. You can look at them next year and go, oh man, I forgot that I made that mindset shift. Let me bring that in and make sure I'm still doing it this next year. Okay, so I want you to take these things, delete part of my stuff and put in your own. So my 3 biggest mindset shifts of 2020 are this. Number 1, be a lighthouse, not a tugboat. I want you guys to let me know in the comments box if any of you guys can relate to this. Okay. You are all hot and heavy on something. You know, you've got these big goals. You feel your spouse maybe isn't setting enough goals or ambitious enough goals or not setting goals at all. You see people around you in your company or friends or family who you just feel like, man, they're just not really, it just seems like they could be doing more and they could be more. If they only did these things, they'd be way more happy, right? That's something I've done for years where I'll look at my brother or look at my wife or look at people that I care about. And I go, man, I just like, if I could just kind of get them to do this, then they'll just be happier. And what I'm essentially doing at that point is being a tugboat. I'm trying to say, hey, you need to do this thing. So I'm gonna like pull you with me. I'm gonna pull you with me, okay? And it doesn't work. I can tell you it does not work. It doesn't work to go to your wife or to your husband and say, hey, you really need to set goals. Let's do it. Let's be motivated. Let's we'll sit down and do goals together. You're tugboating them in, okay? My coach told me or in mid-year, he said, Trevor, he said, what does it matter? Because he was challenging me on some goal stuff, on some fitness stuff, and some other things. Okay. And he was challenging me on waking up early. And I always had an excuse. I kept on saying, well, man, my wife, I love her to death, but she's kind of a night owl. Like she likes to stay up. She watches a couple TV shows. She has said over and over again, she's not a morning person. That's what I said for years as well. But I like waking up in the morning now because that's where I get my most joy. That's where I get energy. It's productive. I like it. It sets my day off well. And so I kept on trying to get her to be a morning person too. And he said, Trevor, because my wife was never a morning person until I became a morning person, and I didn't tell her to become one. He said, I just woke up early every day. My wife saw the effects of the energy that I was getting, of how lit up I was, of how ready for the day I was, of how much momentum I've been getting in my life. She saw that month after month after month, week after week, day after day. And he said, I became her lighthouse where I did not have to drag her through to become a morning person. She saw the results of what was happening. And I was just putting out what I was doing. And he said she became a morning person because she wanted the same thing. Okay. So that was lesson number 1, y'all, is be a lighthouse, not a tugboat. So for people in your life who you're currently trying to be a lighthouse for, if you're a person of faith, maybe it's you're trying to encourage someone to read the Bible more, and you're like, man, hey, babe, let's sit down and read the Bible. they're probably not going to do it by you saying we need to sit down and do this. But what if you woke up every day and read that Bible in front of them for 10 or 20 or 30 minutes because you wanted to get better, because you wanted to absorb it, because you wanted it for you? And then they started to see the effects of that in your life. What if you started waking up early every day and finding ways to serve your spouse better, and they see your energy and they see your vitality and they see you hitting down goals and they see how happy you are and they see how you're serving them better. They see how you're serving the kids better. They see how you're serving all these things better. And they wake up one day and say, you know what? I'm just kind of tired of the way I'm doing it. I want what you've got. Okay. How can you be that how can you be that light boat? Okay. So that's lesson number one, be a lighthouse, not a tugboat. Even with our leaders here at Carrot, I think I've been trying to be a tugboat too much. I've been saying, hey, you need to do this thing. You need to do this thing. I'm going to take you back to a story in October here in a second where something massively changed mentally for me, where I realized I had been a tugboat for my leadership team. And that's exactly why many of them were not getting where I wanted to be. I'll tell you that here in a second. That's mindset shift number 3. Okay. And with that whole lighthouse versus tugboat thing, okay, it's not doing it just once every now and then. It's doing it every single day. Okay. 3 is to maintain, every day is to gain. If you're working out, guys, if you're working out starting from nothing, 3 days a week is great, right? But once you've worked out 3 days a week for a few months, you're just maintaining at that point. You're not gaining anymore. You're not really gaining muscle. You're not gaining strength. You're just maintaining that stasis. If you want to get better, every day is to gain. Work out every day. It doesn't have to be hard, okay? But you have to do something every day, move every day, sweat every day. If you want to become a great writer, you need to write every day, not 3 times a week. If you want to become a great business person, you need to read and inspire yourself every day, not 3 times a week. Okay, so that's how you can become a lighthouse, not a tugboat. So number 2, biggest mindset shift for 2020. We can't solve problems by using the same kind of thinking we use to create them, is a famous quote from Einstein. And this was October, late October. One of the hardest things I've ever had to do in business, y'all, was I had to lay off a friend of mine, a team member, a leader here at Carrot, someone who I love, amazing. I just love them so much. I've known them for years, way before Carrot. I had to lay them off. It just wasn't a good fit for Carrot and for the company and for them moving forward. And it was the hardest decision I've ever had to make at Carrot. Now, within days of that happening and them leaving, I went in and stepped in and took over the marketing side of the company again. Okay, that's kind of my major skill set is on the marketing side of it. So I'm the CEO of the company. I'm the head of revenue here at Carrot. I'm heavily involved in product, and now I took over marketing. And there's about 2 days that week after that person had been gone, after we'd laid them off. There's about 2 days, y'all. It was that Monday and Tuesday. I woke up and I was like stressed out of my mind, and I don't get stressed very much. Okay. And I want you guys to let me know if you relate to this, if any of you guys have experienced this recently. There's about 2 days where I looked at my to-do list for that week and for that month. I looked at my 5 commitments for the month and my 5 commitments for the week. I'm like, man, I just adopted an entire team's worth of leadership items. And I'm already behind on planning, and I'm already behind on this. I'm already behind on this. And I was getting stressed, of like overwhelmed with all of the tasks that were on my lap, my lap now, overwhelmed with it. And I'm sitting there just wallowing in it all of Monday and all of Tuesday. And I'm sitting there going, I don't know how I'm going to dig out of this. And I remember this quote from Einstein, and it popped up and I said, oh my gosh, the same level of thinking that got me into this spot, that got me into overwhelmed with tasks, is not the same level of thinking that will get me out. The level of thinking that got me into this spot is by saying yes to tasks, is by saying yes to too many things, is by saying, yes, I'll do that. Yes, I'll do that. Yes, I'll be a part of that. And I said, okay, there's no way that I can get my way out of this by doing more tasks then. And it was this massive thing for me. It was so cool because immediately I went from like despair, right? How am I ever going to do this? There's not enough time. I went from despair to like euphoria and joy, because I said, oh my gosh, this is just a mindset shift. This isn't me trying to be more productive or effective. The only way I can move to the next level personally and as a leader is for me to learn how to get through this massive backlog of stuff without me having to do it. Right? I'm so joyful and so grateful that I get the opportunity to try to figure out how to get out of this, because I knew that it was not about how I needed to do things. It was who needed to do the things. It was not a how to do the question. It was who can I get to do these, and what processes and systems do I need to create to train them on it so they can take it and move with it. So what I did literally Tuesday, I had that realization. I said, I'm going to stay up all night to get momentum as late as I need to get. I'm going to create all the process for the marketing team to do the planning, to do all that stuff. I'm going to map out the plan. I'm going to map out the plan with them. I'm going to completely redo the cadence of our meetings. I'm going to make it so I can run the marketing team well, ramp up results on under 8 hours a week, and I can still lead over here. And it only happened because of process. Guys, I stayed up until 4:58 in the morning. I woke up at 6 a.m. that morning. I presented the plan to the marketing team. Everyone was pumped. That same process that I stayed up all night to create is now what we're using as a company. The entire company, every team in the company is using it. When I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I don't have time to do this. I was looking at the tasks. I needed to be looking at the people and the process. And I want you guys to look at that. Don't look at the tasks you got. Look at the process and the people. What process do I need to document? And then who are the people I can give this to who can do amazing work there? The more that you look at tasks, the more you look at your tasks stack up, y'all, the more you're going to be in that mindset of task. You're always going to be busy. You're going to be miserable that you're doing work that doesn't give you energy. You need to pull back, create momentum. If it requires you to stay up all damn night to do that, stay up all damn night to do that. Okay, guys? That was a massive lesson for me, and I've been carrying that forward big time. And so even if I have to, I'm totally okay with doing an all-nighter once a quarter or once a month if I can get massive momentum to create process to get to people. Now, I don't do that on tasks anymore. Big mindset for me. Okay, another big mindset for me, guys, mindset shift for me this year was adopting the infinite game mindset, infinite versus finite. Now, I read a book that one of our Carrot members, Adam Johnson and Carrot Camper, he sent me this book from Simon Sinek. It's called The Infinite Game. And the infinite game essentially talks about this concept. It says there's finite games and there's infinite games. There's finite games and there's infinite games. A finite game is a game where there's like winners or losers, basketball, baseball, race car driving, whatever it is. There's a clear winner, there's clear losers, okay? You play to win or you lose depending on how you perform, right? Down here in a finite game, okay, the game can change. In a finite game, the game really doesn't change, right? It's like the rules are set when the football game starts. The rules don't change mid-course. The two teams are the two teams. You can't swap out team number 3 in the third quarter of a football game, right? It's like a finite game has defined players. There's winners and losers. You can't swap out people in and out. And it's really based on metrics and numbers. Did I hit this metric or did I not? In an infinite game, essentially, there are no winners or losers. It's just where am I now versus where was I before and where am I going? It's the players swap in and out all the time. So business is an infinite game. And your market, it's an infinite game because there's going to be a different competition set this month as there will be next month. Okay, if you're doing more revenue than person A, it doesn't mean you're winning. It just means you're ahead in that one metric. Okay, guys, an infinite game. Most of us are running our businesses with a finite mindset when business is actually an infinite game. Okay, if we have a finite mindset and we're trying to play an infinite game of business where it lasts forever, there's no winners or losers, you're going to be frustrated. Okay, you're going to be trying to play to win, but you're going to hit these goals. You're going to be continually frustrated that why didn't hitting that goal make me happier? Why didn't hitting that goal actually matter? Because there's no real winning in the game, guys. So all you do is you hit the goal and you set a new goal. You're going to be frustrated forever, right? So what I started to shift into is I said, why is it that at Carrot, we're doing really well? We're like way beyond any of the financial goals that I'd ever thought that I would get to. Why is it that we still are putting all this pressure we're putting this pressure on ourselves to hit these numbers? Like, yeah, this revenue number is cool and it matters to grow. But does it really matter if we do $833,000 in a month versus $825? Like, does it really matter? And I started to think about, like, why are we setting these goals that are setting us up to be disappointed? Because if we don't hit this really ambitious number, we're going to be disappointed. Then I pull back and ask, and like, does that number really matter? Like, are we going to try to sell this company? The only reason hitting a growth percentage or a revenue number would matter that hard is if we're trying to sell this company in a short time period, which we're not. Like, we're not trying to sell Carrot. I want to serve you guys more. And so we pulled back and we said, How do we shift in 2021 towards an infinite mindset? Yeah, let's set goals as measuring sticks. Yeah, let's set goals as kind of a goal post for us to give us direction and know if we're kind of on the right spot. But let's not base our happiness on our hitting goals. Let's base happiness on progress. Let's base happiness on are we actually progressing and improving as people? Are we progressing and improving and solving problems for our clients better? Is our product getting better? Are people continuing to be happy with the product? Is our team members continue to be happier? Let's gauge our happiness on that, not on hitting a goal. And so that's going to be one of the biggest things for 2021. There was a massive mindset shift for me, is moving into the infinite mindset game with Carrot, the company, and our goals, and getting out of the finite mindset game, right? That's a biggie. All right, guys, so that's the review section. I know I went through it. It took about half an hour or so, but I want you guys to spend some time on that tonight, tomorrow. Go through your wins. Go through what you're most proud of. Go through things that you're disappointed on. Go through things you didn't hit. Put in pictures from your Instagram or Facebook to show some of those memories, and then go through and write down what your biggest mindset shifts are. Those are my 3 biggest mindset shifts. Those mindset shifts, y'all, will probably add $20 to $30 million in net worth for me over the next 5 years. Those mindset shifts are going to buy back hundreds, if not thousands of hours in my time over the next year to 2 years. Those mindset shifts are going to help serve you guys better and help us make an impact even greater. And those mindset shifts are helping me to enjoy even more in 2020. All right, guys. So now we're going to be diagnosing where you are now. Okay, so we talked about the past. Now we're going to be moving forward. And what I want to do, guys, really quick is, we're 2 hours in. This is the epic planning call. Okay, I've never done an epic planning call that's shorter than 3 hours, including Q&A. So I want you guys to buckle in. These 3 hours, treat them like a workshop. Treat them like a offsite. If you guys need to pull away and grab some water or go to the bathroom, go do that now. Grab 60 seconds. I'll give you 60 seconds to take a bio break. Pop back over here, y'all. And we're going to finish this puppy hard. We're going to diagnose where you are today with the 6 Fs. And then we're going to put it on a plan, an annual plan and a quarterly plan. And we're going to dive into Q&A, right? So I'm going to turn on some music really quick. I'll take some chat Q&A in here, but take a 60-second bio break if you need to, y'all. And go. Go. Oh, where are we at? Come on, music. It's not working. I will get it. I promise. Take your bio break. It was trying to play a podcast, I think. Okay, cool. I'm going to dive into some chat stuff here, guys, really fast. Man, this is amazing stuff, guys. That's me. I've had a hard time saying no, taking on new tasks. Scott, dude, process documentation, yes. Trina, wow, that's inspiring dedication. Guys, I had to be inspired by somebody else. Okay, so nothing that I'm doing is unique to me at all. I want you guys to be able to do the same thing. Okay, Allison, I needed to hear that. It sounds like something struck a chord a little bit ago. I love it. Trina says, I can relate to the stress. I've been in that place of overwhelm and feeling crushed and wanting to escape. Trina, you've got to have a moment where you say, I'm gonna clear my schedule tomorrow, or I'm gonna do an all-nighter or whatever it is. Ideally not an all-nighter. Ideally you just clear your schedule of whatever and dive in and identify what process, what needs to be put in place to go do that and give it to certain people. Okay. I love this, Albert. Trying to be a lighthouse to my grown sons, ages 30 and 26 years old. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Cool. So guys, here's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be diving in now. Hopefully you guys got your bio break. We're going to be diagnosing where you are today now with my 6 Fs. And we're going to be dreaming a little bit. We're going to be dreaming a little bit where you want to go personally, professionally, faith, family, fitness, the whole thing. So I've got this concept within my life OS, my life operating system called discipline ceilings. And discipline ceilings are essentially this. I want you guys to let me know if you're I want you guys to let me know if you are relating to this. Okay. Let me know if you guys relate to this. So essentially in life, there's things that are doing good and there's things that are doing bad. Okay. And oftentimes we hit this spot where we feel a little bit of momentum happening. We're like, oh man, things are working. Things are doing great. Da, 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 da. And then we hit this little wall where you can't really feel it. You're like, damn, it just feels like I can't crack through. And it might be a week after or 3 weeks after or 3 months later where, 3 months prior, you're like, I'm in momentum. I just can't lose right now. Life is great. And then 3 months later, you're going, damn, I just can't get that feeling back. I can't get that mojo back. I just can't get it back to where I was before. Okay. And so that's what I call a discipline ceiling. Oftentimes when we hit that spot where you were on fire and then somehow things change slowly and you can't really put your finger on what changed, but now you don't feel like you're in momentum and you can't figure it out, it's usually a discipline that you need to adopt in your life that's going to unlock that next level. And so you find whatever discipline that is. It could be waking up early. It could be exercising so you have more energy. It could be drinking more water every day. It could be filling out your habit tracker every day. It could be meditating. It could be whatever it is, right? And then bam, you hit that discipline, you adopt it. Things are on fire again. You're like, man, I'm winning. I can't lose. I got life figured out finally, da-da-da. And then a month or 2 or 3 or 6 months later, you're in that same feeling again, right? Like, damn, it feels like I lost momentum. I feel like I can't get back into where I was. Guys, let me know if you guys can relate to that feeling ever, okay? And that's another discipline ceiling that you hit and so on. So your life is going to be like this. We all have to realize and recognize, just like Matthew McConaughey said in that video, our success is dependent on the disciplines that we have in life. And as you reach a new level in business, a new level in life, a new level in whatever it is you're trying to achieve, you need to adopt new disciplines that will help you get there. And there is a ceiling. There's a ceiling that you will hit. And I call these indicators. If you think about a stock market, okay, if you think about a stockbroker, the most successful stockbrokers, they have a few things. They have a plan, right? They've got a goal. I want to hit these types of returns. If I hit these returns, then I'm successful, right? And then the next thing is they set up what they call indicators. Okay, they go, okay, I want to get these returns. And if this thing happens on this stock, if it goes up a bunch or if it goes down a bunch, send me a notification, send me an indicator notification to say, this thing happened, therefore do this thing, do this plan over here, okay? So let's say stock goes up $2. They have an indicator that says sell, bam, they sell. The indicator says execute this plan, bam, they sell, they cash in their profits, they win. Now in life, oftentimes we don't recognize those indicators of when things need to change, when you need to dive in and proactively do something. Okay. And so what I started to learn this year was about indicators and how we can have indicators in life, just like a stockbroker would have to be successful on the stocks. And so what I want you to write down on the same piece of paper you've been using is write down, like, when you feel like you're getting into that funk, when you feel like you were in momentum and things are going great, but now they're not or whatever. How do you feel? Is it a loss of momentum? Is it you just aren't excited, as excited to get up in the morning to do work anymore for too many days or too many weeks in a row? Is it you start to lose energy? Is it you're just not focused? You're not really sure on priority and what you need to be doing. Is it where you just find yourself getting distracted and you get out of your fitness routine? Whatever's, write down those things. Those things are indicators. Okay, those things are indicators, guys. That lack of energy that you've got, that lack of motivation for too many days in a row, that lack of momentum, that feeling, whatever those are, write those down, because those are your new mental indicators that as soon as you feel that, you need to now go, oh, shoot, something is shifting. And by having indicators, you're going to catch those down, you're going to catch those lulls way faster than you were before. When I started to put in indicators in place in my life, before that, it might take me 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 12 weeks sometimes to recognize I was starting to get into a funk and I needed to get out of it. Now I'll recognize it after a few days. I'll recognize it like in that time in October, 2 days, because the indicator, I started to pull back and go, oh shoot, I'm in it again. Energy going down, motivation to do work going down, not excited to get up and do my work right now. It's happening for multiple days in a row. Bam, indicator, something that's starting to trigger me going down. I pulled back and I said, what habits or disciplines do I need to get in place now to start to grow out of this? Okay. So write down those indicators, post them on your wall. When you feel those indicators, I want you to go into the next part of the operating system, is this right here. So as soon as you feel those indicators, I want you to ask this, okay? What beliefs do I have right now that are holding me back from changing this, or that are keeping me there? If I go back to the October mindset that I had, the beliefs that I had was, oh, damn, my indicator triggered me. I'm starting to lack energy. I'm not excited about my work right now. Something needs to happen. Let me go to my beliefs. What beliefs are probably holding me back? That's when I thought of the Einstein quote, and I said, oh, damn, it's my belief that I have to do all this stuff, that I have to do it. Okay, that because I said it, and because I own the company, that I need to do these things. And when your beliefs essentially influence your choices. So if I believe that I have to do this, or I have to do it to do it right, then what choices am I going to make? I'm going to make the choice to do more tasks, right? I'm going to make the choice to say yes to that more, or yes to that more. Let's flip it to a fitness thing. Okay, if you have a belief like I did about running that, man, I've got this syndrome, the skeletal syndrome, and if I run, it's probably going to like wreck my joints. It's probably going to hurt really bad. Well, what do? I make choices to reinforce that belief. I will make a choice to not run. And when I make that choice enough, that choice becomes a commitment. Okay. When I make the choice to not run enough because I have a belief that it's going to hurt my joints, I have committed to not being a runner at that point. Or if I make the choice enough to say, well, I've got to do this stuff because I don't want my team to be too busy, or I'm the only one who can do it. I make it enough. I've made a commitment to take on too many tasks. Now, when you make commitments too often, those turn into your disciplines. Those commitments are your disciplines now. Okay, I had committed to being disciplined with saying yes too much and being too busy. I had committed with the discipline of not being a runner. I was committed to the discipline of not running. Okay, I was committed to being a person who was disciplined at going to bed late and waking up with no energy in the morning. Okay, I had a belief that I got my best work done at night. So I made choices that reinforced me staying up late. I ate late. I didn't drink a lot of water. I pulled up my computer at 9, 10 o'clock at night. I made those choices. Therefore, I made a commitment to be a person who was a night owl. That was my discipline, and that was my reputation. I was a night owl. I got my best work done at night. I thought da-da-da-da. Until I started to flip these all around. I said, well, what if I actually am a morning person? Like, it's not that I'm not a morning person. What if I am? What if I shift my beliefs to say, I am a morning person? I like mornings. I get my best done. I get my best work done in mornings. So what if my belief is I am a runner? So in this spring, y'all, when I was doing that running thing, I caught myself on Instagram saying, guys, I'm not a runner and I'm out here doing it. I'm like, oh, damn, I am a runner. Okay, my belief now is that I am a runner. Every time I do this, I'm a runner. What do runners do, y'all? What choices do they make? Runners put on the damn shoes and they lace up their shoes and they run. Okay, what type of commitment does a runner do? Well, they put on those shoes every day and then they go out there and run and they make a commitment. Now I had a discipline to running. And so you look at those choices and you go, well, how do I reinforce the belief that I'm a runner? Well, I get actual running shoes and I put my running shoes right by my bed and I schedule my time to where I actually have time to run. Oh my gosh, y'all. I'm looking at the person that I'm being is in the now. The person that I'm being was a person who made excuses that I wasn't a runner, who made excuses that I didn't have enough time to do my work, who made excuses that I was not a morning person. But the person I wanted to become was a morning person. The person I wanted to become that is going to impact the world in an even greater way is a person who does hard things physically, that is a runner, that is a biker, that is a triathlete. Okay, guys, I've never done a triathlon. I've never swam longer than like half a swimming pool length. Okay, but I am a triathlete. I'm going to be nailing that this next year. So I want you to shift from the vision for yourself of not who are you currently now, but I want you to write down the vision of who do you want to become. And what I like to do is I like to picture actual people, like my coach, my mentor, people around me. Man, I really love how he or she shows up there in life. I'm going to borrow those traits. I'm going to write them down. That's part of my vision. I really love how that person shows up in life here. I'm going to borrow those traits and write them in my vision for myself. I really love that. And then let's do the opposite. Man, I don't love how I show up here. I don't love how I'm showing up here. I don't love how I'm showing up here. And here's why it's important to me that I change it. I write all those down and I write a vision of myself. I write my vision story. I'm going to show you guys how that happens here in a second. So guys, your beliefs influence your choices. Your choices, when you make them enough, are commitments. If you choose to drink the soda pop instead of the water, you are committing to drinking soda pop. It's not that you aren't committing to drink water. You're committing to drinking soda pop. Your discipline is drinking soda pop. It's not that you don't have a discipline of drinking water. It's that your discipline is drinking soda pop. And now you have a reputation of being unhealthy. What reputations do you want to change? Your reputation is your vision story. How do you want your reputation to change in 2021, y'all, to step into the person you know that you're destined to become? I want to ask you this. This right here is one of the most powerful quotes I saw several years ago. Someone once told me the definition of hell is the last day you have on earth, the person you became will meet the person you could have become. Okay. Someone once told me the definition of hell is the last day you have on earth, the person you became will meet the person that you could have become. I want to ask you guys this. Are you actively becoming the person that you are destined to be? Are you actively becoming the person that God made you to be? Or are you throwing that opportunity away? Are you letting insecurities and limiting beliefs creep up in there? Are you under indexing your abilities because something outside of you is saying, don't take a chance on yourself. You can't do this. Other people are saying you can't do this. Guys, you can do this. I don't want you to show up at the end of your life and meet that person that you could have become and go, damn, I could have became that person and I didn't, because I chose to have beliefs that didn't serve me. And those beliefs swayed me to make choices that did not help me make healthy commitments and led to a really bad internal reputation. Okay, guys? Yeah, Scott says, do you share the vision of yourself with friends and family as well? Dude, 100%, man. 100%. Like when I started this biking challenge in December, my wife thought I was crazy. Right? She's like, babe, you don't really bike much. And I said, I do now. That's part of my vision story. Like I want to be a person who shows up and does hard things. I want to be a person who is a cyclist. I want to be a person who does these every day. Babe, I've been really lazy, only working out like 3 days a week. I want to become a person who works out and sweats every single day. And so she starts to see that and go, oh, this isn't Trevor just being crazy. This is him stepping into that person he wants to become. For sure, share it. It creates accountability, right? So back to the 6 F's here. Back to the 6 F's. Guys, we have hundreds of people still on here. Barely anyone has popped off here. I absolutely love this. Hope you guys are getting something out of it. Pop through the comments box what your biggest takeaway is so far. Allison says, that's my aha moment, the being versus becoming. Scott says, that's my timestamp moment. Need to watch that part again. Guys, what's your biggest takeaway so far? Pop it through the comments box. We'll celebrate with you. The people that are the most active in about 20 minutes, I'm going to pull on 1 to 2 people to coach live on this call. And then I'm going to give away one 30-minute coaching session with one person, but you have to be on the call live to get that session. Okay. So back to the 6 F's. Where faith-wise, family-wise, friends, fitness, finances, fun. I want you to think about all of those things when you're writing this vision story of yourself. And literally your vision story could be a page. It could be 6 pages. It could be 3 sentences. Okay. But think about those elements of your life. How are you showing up in faith? How are you showing up as a family person? What's your family look like? What about friends? How are you as a friend? What about fitness and health, finances, fun, all those things? Who are the person that you are, that you're wanting to be? Who do you need to become in order to achieve these things? And so I want you to take out this part of the slide deck or grab your piece of paper. Okay. And then I want you to grade yourself 1 to 5. And this is the 6 F's. I do the 6 F's exercise as a part of my life operating system, my life OS. I do the 6 F's every single time I feel like I'm getting into a funk. Okay. So when I was in that funk in October, when I was in the funk back in the spring, and I started to have those indicators pop up, right? So think about the stockbroker. The stockbroker has a goal to hit certain returns. You've got a vision for where you want to go. Number 2, the stockbroker has an indicator. If this happens on the stock, then do this. You have an indicator. If I feel like this too long, or I have these feelings, then do this. The then do this part is do the 6 F's. That is your then do this. Execute the 6 F's if I feel this right here. Okay. And so write down where you are 1 to 5 on these 5 items, or on these 6 items. 1 being, man, it could not be any worse. Couldn't be any worse right now in my life. A 5 being could not be any better, has no room for improvement at all. I want you to take 60 seconds and write down 1 to 5, your grade on these on a piece of paper or on your version of the slide deck, and just pop it in there. Okay. Maybe your faith is really strong right now and you're like, man, I've still got some room to grow, but I have just been nailing it. I'm a 4 there. Maybe during COVID, for me, my family turned from probably a 2 to a 4 or 5 because I've got an amazing wife, amazing family. But if I'm being honest with myself, I let business a little bit kind of dictate some more of the family time that I wanted to. And so 2020 was an amazing year in that respect. And I'm not going back to that. I'm not going back to the old way of having business dictated. That's why 2021, my theme is buying back my time. Okay. Friends, guys, I don't know about you guys, but my friends during COVID is probably like a 2. Okay. And so in October, when I took the 6 F's, when I was feeling in a funk, my friends was around a 2 because just with COVID stuff. And I said, screw this, like COVID, that's an excuse. Okay. And so I literally texted 6 friends who I've been wanting to get together with, who I've been wanting to kind of create a monthly group with. I said, hey guys, I know it's COVID, but I knew that they would all be comfortable with it. And I said, who wants to come kind of hang out and maybe we'll have a little bit of a whiskey night? All 6 replied back and all 6 said yes. And these are like dream amazing people. All 6 said yes. They're all wanting it. And so that came out of me doing this because it was a 2. And I said, well, let me create a challenge. Any of them that are your lowest scores, I create challenges for them. That challenge was create a monthly get together with friends by Friday next week. And I did. Okay. So that's what I want you guys to do is take this, write your 1 to 5, and then circle 1, 2, or 3 of your lowest scores, then I want you over here to write a challenge. And a challenge is this. A challenge is this, guys and gals. A challenge is something specific. Okay, it's very specific. It's just black and white. You did it or you did not do it. Okay, a challenge is specific. It's time-based. Okay, I have to do it by this date, or like my challenge for December. My challenge is time-based. It's December 1st through 31st. I'm starting a new challenge on January 1st. It's called the 75 Hard Challenge. And that challenge is going to last for 75 days. It's very, very specific and it's very time-based. Okay. And then the third element to a challenge is you got to have accountability. Okay. So it's specific, it's time-based, and accountability. And so for accountability, I just post it on Instagram, and then I'll send out a message to my friends and I say, hey guys, I'm doing this thing. Does anyone want to do it with me? We'll do it together. And so for my December challenge, Keith Sant on here, he was the only guy who replied back to me to be crazy enough to take on this challenge of biking the number of miles for the day and doing over 500 miles the month of December. Keith messaged me back. He's like, I'm in. And I said, dude, let's do it. And I can tell you that if you miss any one of those 3 elements, if you miss having it be specific, if it's not time-based, if you don't have accountability, you're going to run a heavy, high risk of not achieving that. Have all 3 of those things. So that's what I did when I had the fitness part of it, or I had the financial part of it, those types of things. I said, man, what's the habit or what's the discipline I need to adopt? And I said, dude, I need to adopt the discipline of doing things daily. That's my discipline. I need to adopt of working out daily, of reading daily, of writing down my vision daily. I need to do those daily, not once a week or twice a week or 3 times a week. 3 times a week got me where I am. 3 times a week is not going to get me to 20 million a year. Okay. That's not going to. It's not going to get me to impacting more people. It's not going to get me to helping you guys generate 1 million leads a year. It's not going to get me to helping you guys close $1 billion worth of deals over the next 10 years. That's not going to get me there. I've got to do things daily. And so that's where I tossed out the challenge. I wrote it down here. I said, do the calendar club, bike the miles of the day, every day, accountability band. Keith Sant is my accountability partner and Instagram. Okay, over here, earlier in the year, faith was probably like a 2. And then a friend of mine said, hey, dude, I'm going to do a Bible in the year thing, but it's going to be a modified version of it. We're going to cut out some of the books that are, similar stories to some of the other ones. And so, bam, it's specific, Bible in a year. He gave me a plan where it's like every day we had to read a few chapters. And then it was, it's that specific, that's time-based. And then accountability, we had started a Marco Polo group where we were talking every single day about what we were reading. Bam, it works. Okay, guys, this right here, once you feel in a funk on any one of these, this is how you get out of it. You do a challenge. So I want you guys to pop through right here. Pop through the comments box really quick. And I want people to be vulnerable really fast. Pop through the comments box. What were yours that had the lowest scores, guys and gals? And what are you thinking about for a challenge? Like I said, I'm going to pick one person, maybe 2, if we have time, to coach and help you pick your challenge, help you look at your success. We're going to nail something for you, but I want you guys to pop through the comments box. What are your lowest scores and what are you wanting to change in 2021? And do you have an idea for what that challenge could be? So a financial challenge. So let's say someone has a financial of 1, okay, or a 2. And they circle it, move it over to here. What your challenge could be is maybe it is like Keith Sant or some of the other ones is to ramp up your marketing, right? So maybe your challenge is it's literally to do the Carrot 30-day challenge. Like that might be your challenge. It's time-based, it's specific. There's a lot of accountability built into the 30-day challenge. You get the 30-day challenge for free. If you're not a Carrot member yet, y'all, you can get our epic planning call special. It's on the link in the play page you've got right there. You get the 30-day challenge included. If you're an existing member, there's also a special in there for you. So home buying, guys, 2 for fun, 2 for friends. Trina, financial was my lowest. Okay, right here. Paula Quinn, fitness and health. Okay, so guys, right here, this is something right there. Paula, I'm going to ask you right here. Fitness and health. What's something you can do that's specific, time-based, and accountability to get you moving again? And it could literally be walk a mile every day. It could literally be, whatever it is, it's something, but it's got to be something that you do like daily or most every day. Okay, Eric, fitness is one, dude. You have to get fitness back in place. If you want to impact the people, if you want to love the people, if you want to achieve, I can tell you with 1,000% certainty that your fitness and health is going to be a direct correlation in your ability to do those things. For me, 2018 was that year. 2018, I was heading home every single day just with energy crashes at 3, 4 in the afternoon. I'd get home and my kids are wanting to play. And honestly, I wanted to, but I just physically couldn't. I was out of energy. I was just wore out. I was falling asleep on the couch at 8:30 at night, every single night, and not being able to spend the time with my wife. Like all of these things. And so what I did is I said, damn, I need a challenge to get out of this. And so I said, I need to start working out at least 3 days a week. And what I put down for this challenge was have my assistant get 3 personal trainers for me to interview Friday next week. And I will pick one by the end of the day, Friday. She got 3 personal trainers for me to interview. I interviewed them all. I picked one Friday. We started the very next week. Bam, that got me out of it. Okay, your version of that could be something different. It could be text 10 friends and we're going to go out and run a mile every single day in the month of January. Okay, you're going to run 31 miles in January. Or it could be, I'm going to do 20 push-ups every single day in the month of January. Or it could be, I'm going to, by Tuesday next week, I'm going to sign up for a gym membership and get a personal trainer. I'm going to pony up to $1,000 to get that trainer, whatever it is. Okay, you got this, man. April, fun zero. April, oh my gosh, I want to focus on this one for sure because I'm way guilty of that. Like one of our core values at Carrot is fun. And sometimes I find myself just showing up, doing the work and then checking out and going home. And sometimes I really don't inject as much fun in there. And so what I want you to do is circle fun and make a challenge on it. How can you have more fun? What do you love to do, April? Like, what do you absolutely love to do? Is there a hobby that you love to do? Do you love to bike? Do you love to, whatever it is, write down what you love to do in your challenge. I'm making this up. Let's say you love bowling or whatever, right? So your challenge is to text 10 friends or 5 friends and set up a weekly bowling session with them every single week if bowling is what you love to do. Or I'm going to ask you this right now, April, pop through the comments box. What do you love to do? Like what gives you energy? What do you absolutely love to do in life? And what I want you to do is create an accountability group with other friends in January and set up a weekly thing with them or whatever it is, something that you love to do. Okay. I love it. Rick Woods, man, says, I'm so low on so many of these. Dude, it's not embarrassing. That you should not be embarrassed at all. Okay, I feel in need of a total makeover, family, financial. We're my lowest of one. Dude, focus on family first because you can have all the finances in the world. It doesn't matter if your family life is wrecked. So what I want you to do there is figure out what about family needs to be fixed. Do you need to schedule weekly date nights with your wife maybe, right? So maybe that's it. Maybe part of your family is I really need to focus on my relationship with my wife. Move it over to the challenge section. Weekly date nights for the next 8 weeks. You're going to schedule them right now. You're going to talk to your wife. You're going to put them in the schedule. They're going to happen. You're even going to actually go buy or pre-reserve or whatever all of your date nights for January. Like do that today. Okay. If you guys want to do restaurants, if you guys want to go out, if you guys want to do certain things, okay, schedule those now. That's your challenge. By the end of the day, Friday, have all of my date nights for January scheduled. Okay. Right there, Rick. Like nail it, man. April, run. April, just same thing. Get an accountability group and then start pick a challenge for me, the same thing. Oftentimes having a race helps. So find a half marathon somewhere in your area in March, April, something like that. Sign up for it. Like that's your aim, April. Sign up for that race. Like pay the money, sign up for it by Friday. Okay, so on their challenges, sign up for half marathon by X date and invite 5 friends. Okay, so that's the challenge. As soon as you sign up for the thing and pay for it, the rest of the plan will work its way out because now you've got to have a plan to go do it. The next step is Google half marathon training, 90-day half marathon training plan, or however many days is out. And then the next thing is take that plan, send it to your friends and say, I'm starting on Monday. Who would like to come with me? I'm going to post on Instagram about it and I'm going to do a Marco Polo group for accountability. All right, April, that's your items right there. Pick your race, pay for it by Friday this week. Text 5 friends, invite them to it as well. Start your plan on Monday, and then start posting it on Instagram and post it on Marco Polo and get a group of people to help you with it. All right, you got this, guys. Rick, get your damn date nights in or whatever it is you're looking to do. Okay, you got this, man. You got this. All right, guys, you guys got the idea with it, right? I'm going to pick one of you to dive through on this specifically. So now business-wise. Okay, I'm not going to go into this slide much because we are running over on time right now. But business-wise, we need to diagnose where we are in that as well. So I use the 6 F's to diagnose where I am personally, and then I create challenges to get out of those things, okay? So now with business, I want you to, in your own time away from this workshop, figure out where your business is revenue-wise. Are you in the $0 to $40,000 range? Are you in the 40 to 60? Are you in the 100 to 300? Are you in the 1 to 3, 3 to 10, 10, like whatever it is, right? My guess is most of you are somewhere around seeker, starter, promoter. Some of you are definitely into the builder mode. I know there's 7-figure people on this call right now. Okay. And some of you are an operator. So I want you to peg where you are, and then I want you to read these things. Okay, these are the questions that are probably going through your head. If you're in the promoter phase, 100 to 300K a year with your business, you're probably asking, how do I get ahead? You're probably busy, a lot of tasks. You're going, damn, I'm just like working overtime right now. How do I make this happen? Well, you need to leverage lead generation better. Keith Sant has really got momentum with his Carrot evergreen marketing. He's really leveraging lead gen in a big way, along with other things. And now that's going to help propel him up to $1 million a year if that's where he wants to go. Okay, so you need to really leverage lead gen at that point. And then right here, you need to focus on this. This line is what do you need to focus on? This is, I need to generate leads and convert consistently. Okay, if you're down here in Seeker and you're just trying to get your first deals, you're kind of in the dabbling mode. You're not full-time. You're like, how do I stop the pressure and noise? I've still got my job. There's all this stuff I'm learning online. There's like all kinds of things. I don't really know what I should focus on. There's so much pressure and noise. I feel like I should be achieving and things should be clicking now, but they haven't. Why not? Well, the reason they haven't is because you need to nail those keystone habits, that routine, the daily planning, the setting of goals, personal care, the things I talked about earlier, the whole being and becoming. You need to have a clear vision of who you want to become. You need to look at the habits and beliefs that you currently have that are holding you back. You need to adopt better habits. Okay. That's going to help you get into it. It could be better habits to prioritize. It could be better habits to do whatever. Okay. And then one of the keys that I find with a lot of investors and agents that are stuck in this range is they're trying to serve everybody. You got to be crazy clear who you're serving. I'm serving motivated house sellers in this one city. Okay. I'm serving buyers that are of these 3 niches. Be crazy clear who you're trying to serve, because then you can speak directly to them and get momentum. Okay. So I want you guys to circle or write on here where you guys are, which phase based on income. This is the question you're probably asking yourself. What's wrong with me? How do I get ahead? How do I get further ahead? This is what you need to do. Okay. You need to market and avatar clarity. You need to leverage lead gen. You need to get a salesperson to get from 300K to 1 million, possibly. Up here, 1 million to 3, you need to build a team. Where I am now, scaling leadership systems and duplicated decision-making, I am needing to be a better leader. That's why I created those systems and processes in October. To get from 10 to 30, I cannot be the guy where everyone comes to. I've got to scale leadership systems and duplicated decision-making. Okay, so I want you guys to circle that. And then the last thing is, what do you need to do? We can talk about this more. I know I'm doing quick on this, but that'll help give you focus on where you are and what you need to do next. Okay, so crafting your vision story. Y'all, you guys are such amazing people on here. Like I said, guys, all right, you're Scott. Dude, I love this, man. Scott says, pulling the trigger on the half marathon, then shooting for a Spartan sprint. Do it, dude. Do it today. Like, do it now while you're on the call. Go find one, sign up for it, and let me know. Okay, do it right now. All right, do it. Do it. All right, cool. So having a clear vision for your life allows you to live out of hope rather than out of fear. So we've been talking about vision. We've been talking about vision for ourselves. We've been talking about vision for where we want to go. And we ask, why do we need a vision? Because if we don't have a vision, we're oftentimes looking backwards and we're fearful. We're taking actions based on fears, or even worse, other people's fears. Having a clear vision, guys, allows you to live out of hope rather than fear. And that's such a joyful spot to be in. That's such an amazing spot to be in. And so here's my planning framework. First of all, we have to write down the vision for ourselves, that personal vision, the vision story, I call it. We have to write down the vision for our company. Like, what do we want our company to become? Maybe those core values of who do we want to be personally. And then we're going to theme it. This is where we're going to start moving through things quickly, guys. Okay, we're going to create a theme for the year for business and personal. Then we're going to create objectives and goals. And then we're going to map out your projects that you have to do. And then there's going to be a scorecard. Okay, so your vision and values are like, why do we exist? Why does this company exist? Why do I exist? Why do I want to do what I'm doing? Your theme is kind of the overarching rallying cry for the year of 2020. Your objectives and goals are kind of like, well, where are we going this year in this quarter? Like, what are those goals we're going after? And then the projects are, what do we actually need to do this year to reach those goals? And then the scorecard is kind of like that weekly and monthly metrics, like a Google Sheet that tracks if those projects are working or not. Okay. So the thing that I do with my vision is I write down what I call a vision story. And I literally take out my orange notepad. This is an actual picture of my actual vision story. And I sit down there and go, 20 years out, what do I want my average ideal day to be like? So right now it's Wednesday, December 30th, 2020. So Wednesday, let's say December 30th on 2040, okay, where am I going to be? And I literally write down in excruciating detail from the second I wake up to the second I go to bed. I write down, I wake up in a room that overlooks, a large body of water. I'm inspired by the view out my window. My bedroom gives me a sense of calm. My bedroom gives me a sense of peace. And it's a spot where it's a spot where stress is reduced, and it's a retreat, not a spot where stress is. My wife is laying next to me. We wake up about 5:30 a.m. Here's the things that we first say to each other. Here's the feeling that I have. Here's the view out the window. Here's what I'm hearing. Okay, then what do I do next? Well, I go over here and do this. Then I go to the kitchen. Who's in the kitchen 20 years from now? My kids are 6, 8, and 10. So I'm going to have a 30-year-old, 26-year-old, and 28-year-old. So where are they going to be? I'll even picture where they're at. Well, McKinley, my 10-year-old at 30, she's probably going to be doing this, and she might be here. And my 8-year-old really wants to farm. So hopefully in 20 years, he might be like having a farm, and maybe he's down the road, and I'll go visit him later that day. And what's my 26-year-old at that time going to be doing? And then what do I have for breakfast? Where do I have breakfast? What's the kitchen look like? Do I have music on? What do I do after breakfast? Do I meditate? Do I read? What types of things do I read? When do I go to work? What time? Where is work? Is it at my house? Is it at an office? What does it look like? What's my home office look like? What work do I do? Okay, when I'm actually working, what am I doing? How do I feel? Am I joyful? Am I motivated? What do I do next? Where do I go to lunch? Who do I have lunch with? Okay, what do I eat at lunch? What do I do in the afternoon? When do I work out? What does working out look like? When do I get home? Okay, what does home look like when I drive up to it? What am I driving up in? Okay, who greets me at the door? What conversations do we have? What do we have for dinner? What do I do next? How do I finish the day? What do I do right before I go to sleep? You guys get the idea, right? You guys get the idea how crystal clear that vision story is. I want you guys this weekend to take out that piece of paper and write out where you want to be, your ideal average day 20 years from now. Dream, be big. Don't hold yourself back. Don't think, well, shoot, there's no way I could ever do that. Guys, when I first wrote my first vision story 10 years ago, it was pretty big. And literally part of it was I run, these aren't the exact words, but when I wrote my 20-year vision story 10 years ago, I said, I'm essentially an investor in multiple companies. I love mentoring and coaching entrepreneurs. I own parts of multiple companies, and I don't really run any of them actively at that point, but I'm active in mentoring, coaching, finding opportunities to help them grow, coaching leaders, finding other opportunities to help businesses make a greater impact. That's kind of my day is coaching and mentoring. And in there, I said, collectively, the companies that I own parts of are worth over $100 million. Guys, 10 years ago, when I wrote that, I literally crossed it off, and then I wrote down a smaller number. I wrote like 10 million or 20 million or something like that, which is still amazing, right? That's crazy. That was as much as my limiting beliefs would allow me to believe at that time. But then I crossed that out and I rewrote back in there 100 million. I'm like, I don't have to know how to get there. I just have to write it down and dream and realize that it could actually happen. Okay, that it could actually happen. All right, guys. The funny thing is, the businesses that I own right now are not too far off from worth $100 million. I didn't have to know how to do it. I just had to believe that it could happen. So I want you guys to write that down. And Roger says 20 years from now, I'll be a stone's throw from 90. Dude, that doesn't matter, man. I have family members who are kicking alive, well, doing amazing at 100, 102, 98 years old. Right? There's people who literally started businesses in their 80s that became world-renowned, amazing businesses in their 80s. KFC didn't even start until I think he was 65, Colonel Sanders, something like that. And so I want you to write that vision. Write that vision at 90 years old or at close to 90. Roger, what will you be doing, man? Like, what will you be doing every day? Will you be active? If so, what will you be doing actively? Will you still be working? If you're working, what type of work? Maybe you're still going to be working, but it's just mentoring or coaching or only doing things you love to do. Write that ideal average day and then work it back to 10 years. Okay. Then do the same thing. Turn the page over and go, all right, 10 years from now. All right. So 2030, December 30th, 2030, my ideal average day from the time I wake up, from the time I go to bed, excruciating detail. What's that ideal average day look like that would lead me towards the 20-year vision? And you're going to start to map that out. Okay, well, 10 years from now, I would need to be here and doing this and probably this, and probably this, and I'm feeling this, I'm feeling this. Do the same thing at 5 year. Now write 5 year and go, okay, in 5 years, in order to live the 10 year and the 20 year, here's where I'm going to be. I'm going to wake up here. Here's the conversations. You're going to see yourself plotting out that story over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. I want your story to be insanely exciting. I want your story to be the most exciting story that you've read all year long. And you're looking at it just smiling, saying, you know what? I don't know if it's going to exactly look like this, but I'm absolutely pumped that this could work. Okay. I'm absolutely pumped that this could happen. Guys, look at these words here. When I'm literally just now rereading this. Okay. It says fitness becomes probably like a daily something, challenge my body and mind, Guys, I'm doing that now. Right here, it says something like new higher level in life together with friends, my greatest mentors like Noah Kagan. Guys, I was Instagram DMing with Noah Kagan last week. At that time, never had any idea I could ever meet him. Tony Shea, man, it's so a bummer he passed away. Never got a chance to meet him. Russell Brunson was in his mastermind for 3 years. No one personally can text message him now. At that time, guys, he was untouchable to me. Okay, right here, business does what is that? 20 to 25 million a year in the company. Healthy, confident, happy, and loved. Guys, like this stuff comes reality when you start to do this stuff. I want you to treat this seriously this weekend. Pull up that piece of paper, write your personal vision story. 20 years. 10 years, 5 years. It doesn't matter if it takes you a day. It doesn't matter if your 20-year vision story is 4 pages long, 14 pages long, or 4 sentences long. Make it as much detail as you can and be insanely excited about it. Okay? Cool. Awesome. I love this right here. Says this is so crystal clear in my mind now. So crystal clear in my mind now. I like it. I like it. So this right here is our company vision. So we just did the personal vision. I walked you through how to do that. The company vision should be detailed as well. And then you want to boil it down to something simple. So I'm gonna move past this slide here. You guys will be able to see that. That's our current written company vision statement. But you guys can also write your own personal vision statements if you want. Okay. So here, this is something you also have access to. This is inside of that slide deck. You can actually click this and edit it. What I suggest that you do is swap out your logo, like put your logo in here or your name. This is your 3-year strategic plan. Okay. So write down your vision personally or for your business. Like, what's your business? Why does your business exist? Okay. Like, what do you do in your business to hit that vision? What are your core values? Write those down here. And then over the next 3 years, what are your major goals? Okay. Maybe you have a major goal of making $100,000 a year or hitting $1 million a year or whatever. And then make a non-monetary goal. Well, I want to have a team of at least 5 people, or I want to work less than 20 hours a week, or whatever those goals for the next 3 years are. Write them in here. What we're creating right here, guys, is we're creating a 1-page 3-year strategic plan. This is something you can print out. This is a template you can use. Click it, edit it, print it out, put it on the wall, put it on whatever, like look at it all the time. Okay, over those 3 years to hit those goals, revenue goals or whatever other goals, what are the strategies you have to do to get there? So one of your strategies may be adopt evergreen marketing, right? One of those strategies may be learn how to build a team. Okay, one of those strategies may be shift towards hybrid. If you're just an agent, you might say shift towards hybrid to add investing so I can build more long-term wealth, not rather than just commissions. Like, what are those core strategies that are going to help you get where you want to be in 3 years? And then the last part here that I like to do is I go, okay, cool. What are some of those interesting metrics that 3 years from now I would want to have? Well, you might have a revenue metric, right? You might say, well, I want to be earning whatever it is, $250,000 a year in 3 years. Or you might have a metric of, I want to have 100% of my clients be repeat clients, or I want to have 40 inbound leads coming in every single month from evergreen marketing, or it could be something else. Okay, so think up what are those metrics that would measure success, and then start to look at it. Use this as your template. That's my gift for you guys right here. Okay, this is your template. Put your logo in it. Put your words in it. Print it out. Put it on the wall. All right, guys. All right, cool. So here's something I'm going to show you guys. You also have a link to it. I'm not going to go into it, but I'm not saying you guys have to do this, but this right here is something that I did to be our public facing version. So someone asked earlier on this call, hey, should I share this with family and friends? Should I share my personal vision with family and friends? Heck yeah, you should. Just like I want to share our company vision with you guys. Like I want to share our company vision with you guys because it helps us be accountable, but also it helps us to make sure that we're all in this together. Like we can chase this together, and hopefully I'll maybe inspire you. And so what I've included in this, guys, I've included a link to our public facing 3-year company vision. You guys can see how I do it. Now, I literally created this for free on canva.com. I didn't hire any. I have full-time graphic designers here at Carrot, guys. I didn't have a graphic designer do this. I wanted to sit down on Canva on a free Canva account and just like put down my thoughts. And I grabbed pictures, I grabbed words, and you guys can click through this and see how I'm doing my vision. Okay. I put in my vision statement, a little letter from me saying, hey, here's where we're going over the next 3 years. Here's our company story. So write your company story. How did you start? Why? Why does your company matter? What's your company mission? Like, why do you exist? Here's the vision. Here's what we're really trying to impact in our community. Here's our core values that we operate from. So just to remind you all the time, right? Here's the strategies. So you guys saw the strategies I talked about before, right? So here's the key strategies, the key strategic initiatives that are like, hey, in order to get where we want to go over the next 3 years, here's the main things we've really got to nail over the next 3 years. Okay, here's what we've got to be good at. I've got to be good at these things, right? Here's what our team is going to look like. And here's the things I'm going to be proud about. Here's what our product is going to be growing into. Here's how many members. I'm going to talk about you guys and how we're helping you guys. Here's what we need to do, process and systems. Here's how I want to have our marketing, financial, the whole thing. Okay, so I'm not saying you guys have to do this. What I'm doing is I'm showing you guys to inspire you what you can do as you build on and as you want to do more things to make your vision more clear. So that's my public facing 3-year vision. You guys have a link to it now. You can check back on it. You can use it as inspiration. When you're ready, if you're ever ready to create a public vision to people, do it visually like that. It's really, really cool. Okay, so after all this, after the vision stuff, you're going to have ideally a written vision story. You take an hour or two this weekend and write down, what is the ideal average day? Who's the person you want to become? What habits do you have? Right from the second that you wake up to the second you go to sleep. Talk about what you're seeing in the room. What does your house look like? What car are you driving? Who are the people you're talking to? What are the conversations? What type of work are you doing? All that stuff. Get inspired by it. If you can't write down your own vision story, there's no way you're going to be able to live that. You're going to end up having life happen to you rather than you happen to it. Okay. Number 2, if you can take that big, long vision story and encapsulate it down into a sentence or two, like, what makes that happen? For me, it's helping you build businesses of freedom and impact. It's freedom and impact, freedom and impact, freedom and impact. That's my personal vision statement. Okay. Business vision statement's a little bit different. We're going to start to hone those so they're close to the same here this next year too. And then number 3 is something that's a simple 1-page shareable, printable version. So you will never have it out of your sight. Put it on your picture, put it on your wall, put it wherever, share it with people. That's the end result of your visioning. All of that should take less than half a day, and it's going to completely change your world in 2021. Make the investment. All right. This is the last section right here, y'all, that I'm going to open up for Q&A. I'm going to bring one person on live for all of you 100 plus that are on here still on this epic planning call. All right, guys. So once again, going back to the framework, we just talked about the vision. Okay. Well, now we're going to nail your theme in your projects and objectives. Okay. So Matthew McConaughey said something else, and I absolutely love his quotes. He said, the arrow doesn't seek the target. It's the target that seeks the arrow. Now, let me say that again. I want you guys to screenshot this, put it on Instagram, tag me to it. Okay. The arrow doesn't seek the target. The target seeks the arrow. It's the target that seeks the arrow. Now, what does this mean? What most of us do, and I definitely did this for years as well. What most of us do, y'all, is we say, okay, let's set a target out there. Like, we're going to set a target out there somewhere. Okay. Then I'm going to go back over here. I'm not going to spend a lot of time setting the target. I'm just like, well, I want to make $100,000 a year. Or I want to do this. Like, not a lot of time setting the target. Just walk out there and put it somewhere. Right. But then I pull back and I spend all this time getting the arrow and getting the bow and all this time creating a plan for the year and all these projects and all this stuff. When at the end of the day, what we should be doing we should be spending the most time making sure that the target is in the right spot. Okay, most of us just walk out and put the damn target wherever jumps up on our mind for the year. We should be spending most of the time creating that vision. Most of the time getting insanely clear, is it the right target? Is my target actually the right one? Am I aiming at the right thing? Is this what's really, truly going to make me happy? Is this truly what's going to help serve God? Is this truly what's going to help serve my community and help me impact more people? Is the target in the right spot first? Once you have the target in the right spot and you're excited about that vision, like we talked about, now we're going to go create the arrows. We're going to create the bow. That's the plan on how to hit the target. That's the projects. That's the goals, stuff like that. Okay. So what I want to do first, guys, is create a theme. And on this next slide, I want you guys to delete my theme. I want you to put your theme in there, okay? So first, create a theme personally and one for you for business for the year. So personally, I'm revitalizing the theme I had 3 years ago, which is buying back my time. So 2021 is the year of buying back my time. This quote on my wall, every year I get a canvas on my wall. I haven't got one for this next year because I'm revitalizing this one as a reminder for myself. It's a time-tested thing. I want to step back into it. The ultimate goal as an entrepreneur isn't money. It's complete control over your time. Complete control over your time. That's my personal theme for the year. It's on my wall. I'm going to be reminded of it. I'm even mapping my goals. So by the end of the year, I'm stepping out of the daily operation, the running of the daily operations of Carrot, so I can step back into serving you guys with better content, better strategy, coaching more versus having to like worry about a personnel issue or something like that. Okay. So business, our business theme for this year is make 2021 our most innovative year yet. And so I've got this quote from Steve Jobs that motivates me on that one. So business theme for Carrot, our most innovative year yet is 2021's business theme. So innovation is the ability to see change as an opportunity, not a threat. And that's something I want to really have my team start to focus in on. So whenever I write a theme, I'll write in the theme, our most innovative year yet. And then I write in bullet points below it, like, why does it matter? Or let me give some more clarification on it. Innovation. Now, make changes in something established, especially by introducing new methods, ideas, or products. Accelerate our innovation, add more value in 2021 than we ever have. Create a culture of innovation and iteration at Carrot. Transition our product to a product-led company and move to a platform approach versus just websites. Every team, every role can innovate and create positive momentum. Advance our product to get ahead of the impending market shifts. Okay, that's what I put in front of my team. We're insanely clear what our theme is. So once you guys nail your theme, what we want to do now is go back to these 6 F's. And we want to say, hey, for 2021 specifically, what are some of those goals that I want to have for faith, for family, for friends, financial, fun, fitness? Okay, so I want you to write down those goals. Write down what the heck is it that you're wanting to do. Are you wanting to join a church? Are you wanting to, whatever, family-wise? Are you wanting to get married? Are you wanting to have a relationship? Are you wanting to get remarried to your spouse? Are you wanting to have a date night every week of the year? What are your main goals there? Friends, meet up with friends at least monthly. That might be an amazing goal. Financial, it might be a number potentially. Fun, it was mentioned earlier, running, right? Awesome running. I want to run 1,000 miles in 2021. That might be an amazing goal for you, April, for running. Right? If you love running, I want to run 1,000 miles in 2021. Write that puppy down, put it on your wall. Okay, fitness. What's that one? I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to gain 20 pounds, like whatever it is. Write down those goals for 2021. And then, like I said, I want you to list off 4 challenges that are going to help you with those goals. And then just decide when you're going to do those challenges. You might do 1 of those in the first quarter. You might do 2 of them in the second quarter, and then 1 in the third quarter. So just kind of write down when you probably want to do those during the year. Okay. Awesome, guys. So that's how I set personal goals. I literally take up the 6 F's. I write down those challenges I want to tackle and then do that. Okay. So for the business side of it, let's do the same thing, but for business side of it. So, write down what must you achieve this year in order to achieve that 3-year vision. If you said in 3 years, you want to earn $1 million a year, what must you achieve this year to hit that? If in 3 years you wanted to have $1 million net worth and you're starting this year with $100,000 net worth, how much real estate do you need to acquire? How big does your business need to get this year? Like, write down specifically what needs to happen this year in order to reach that 3-year. Okay. So why do these goals actually matter? Ask yourself that. Why do these goals actually matter? Does it actually matter that I hit $100,000 a year? Does it actually matter that I hit $100,000 a month? Or am I just doing that because the people in my mastermind said I should have a bigger goal? Like, does that goal actually help me reach my personal vision? Does that goal help me actually realize becoming the person I want to become and help me impact the people I want to impact? And that's where a lot of people, myself included, get stuck with our goals. As we write down goals that sound cool and it seems like it's something we should probably put down. Like, we should all grow our companies, right? But maybe you shouldn't. Maybe your company should be exactly the size it is today, like next year. You just need to pull out and not do as many hours. Maybe that's exactly what your goal should be. Because if you got into business to gain more freedom and flexibility and make a greater impact, but you're just trying to ramp up to do more deals, maybe that's going to remove your freedom, flexibility, and impact. You're going to have more money, but no time to do anything with it. I've been guilty of that for sure. Okay, so maybe your business needs to stay the exact same darn size. You just want to optimize something else. You want to optimize your fun this next year. You want to optimize your family time. You want to optimize your time off, whatever it is. Why does that goal actually matter to helping you achieve the life you want to achieve? That's the biggest thing I've seen entrepreneurs mistake, and I've done it so many times I can't count, where we set a goal based off of ego or based off of what other people think we should do, not based off of will that goal actually help me reach that dream that I had written 1 year, 5 years, 3 years ago. Make sure that business helps you do that. Okay. And we use something that we call good, better, and best model. When we go back to the infinite and finite thinking that I talked about before, oftentimes with infinite or with finite thinking, it's goal-based, right? Hey, I want to hit 10 deals a month. I want to hit $100,000 a year, whatever it is. If you hit $94,000, you're probably going to be disappointed, which sucks. So we use something called a good, better, best model. So that biggest goal that you have would be your best. Like it might be, man, you know what? It's going to be really hard. I'm making $5,000 a month now. I want to make 50 grand a month, but it's going to be really hard. I'm not going to put pressure on myself for that, but I'm going to put that as my best, business revenue goal. Okay. It's 50 grand a month, but it's like a coin flip. I may or may not hit it, but I'm going to give myself a chance. What we want to do ideally is hit the better number and say, let's say you're at $5,000 a month. You're like, okay, you know what? I've got to for sure get to 10 grand a month. So 10 grand a month is like my first sure. If I'm going to quit my job and go full into real estate, I've got to hit 10 grand a month. So put that as your good number. The good number is I 100% have to hit it. My plan 100% has to map towards hitting this goal. Okay. Then the better number is like, damn, okay, I've got to hit the 10K, but I really, man, it'd be a big win if I hit 20. Man, it'd be a grand slam, world-changing, game-changing if I hit 50. Probably not going to hit that, but I'm at least going to give myself a chance. That's how I do goals. Okay, that's how I do goals, guys. So that way, when we're looking at infinite versus finite, I know, and I can check it off and celebrate it. Okay, cool. I hit the goal that I knew that I had to hit, but it was kind of shooting low, but I knew that I had to hit it. Check it off, celebrate it. I feel so good. Infinite thinking. I made progress, right? So better being, oh man, I made even more progress than I thought. Let's celebrate the crap out of that. And best, if you hit best, guys, like go buy the fancy thing you're wanting or take the trip or just celebrate with it for sure. But what happens is most of the time, the goals that we set, y'all, are just the best. And we end up just short of them and we feel bad about it. And it just sucks where you're comparing your happiness against some arbitrary number. So now, at least with the good, better, best model, you can then celebrate the fact that you hit your good number, really celebrate that you hit that, but then you map your plan to making sure that you map your plan to giving yourself a chance to hit the best. And if you don't hit best and you hit better, you celebrate the crap out of it and say, what did I learn? And how do I adjust to see if I can't move toward best even better? So guys, use this right here. Use this right here. This is what you guys can do to set your goals. So I want you guys to use this sheet, literally use this sheet and put down your goals right here. What revenue growth do you want to have? What other key metrics? Swap out yours in place of this and write down any notes. If you need to get data on it still or whatever, but write down your good, better, best. And then what you want to do is you want to map your plan. You always plan for the best. Okay. You plan for the best and you hope that you land somewhere between better and best. That's where you hope. And you got to hit good for sure and celebrate the crap out of it. All right. So once you set those goals, those good, better, best in that sheet, then you pop over here and say, okay, those are my goals for the year. I'm going to map my plan towards the best, because if I don't hit best, hopefully I land between better and best. What are the main objectives that I need to focus in on? Like, do I need to ramp up my evergreen marketing as an example? If you do, cool. Write down your objective of evergreen marketing. So ramp up my evergreen marketing, and then write down some of your specific goals or key results. Okay. Increase my leads from 10 to 30 by the end of the year with evergreen SEO, and launch my authority hub, add 15 testimonials to my site, whatever, to start Google paid marketing by blah, whatever it is. Okay. So right here, let's say goal number 2 was you want to buy back time. And you're like, man, in order to get where I want to go, yeah, I want to buy back time. Yeah, I want to grow my income, but I can't do this alone. So I need to build a team. Okay. So it's like, build my first, build systems, processes, and team to remove me as bottleneck. And then right here, it might be hire a personal assistant. Like, what's your key result? Hire a personal assistant by January 31st. Okay, cool. That's very specific. That's something you can create a plan around. What's the next key result that would show that? Well, it might be, it might be something around, dial hours, working hours from 60 down to 40 by July 1st. Okay, cool. That's a good measurable thing that you can look at to show progress. So you guys get the idea here, right? I like to do a growth item. Like, what am I going to do to grow my company? I like to do an item that's around process or your product that you offer, like improving process and product. And I like to do an item around team. And so that's kind of how I like to set my objectives. Set somewhere between 2 to 3 objectives for the year of 2021. And then write some of those items that are, hey, here's the things that would show that I'm actually making progress towards building out my evergreen marketing. It's, setting up the authority hub or whatever. Okay. Awesome, Jay. Jay says, I love the good, better, best model. I love it, man. Then what I would do next is after I map out those objectives, then I go, okay, cool. Is there anything I need to do with like team? Do I need to have a budget for marketing? Do I need to add a person? So if so, write down the opportunity or the gap and write down the role title if someone else is going to be doing it. And then write down the approximate budget. And anytime you set a budget out there, there always has to be metrics that you measure. So if you're going to hire an acquisition coordinator, you might write down the budget, $5K a month. Okay, cool. And then what metrics would you measure that role? Well, I'm currently doing 2 deals a month. And if I add a transaction coordinator, I should be able to do 8 a month. And so the metrics that I'm going to measure on that is deals per month. We should be doing for sure at least 6, but ideally 8. Do good, better, best targets for your team too. Okay. Other metrics that are measured is revenue should go from 100,000 this year to 300,000, whatever it is. Because then when you look at it, you go, oh, I'm investing 5K to this transaction coordinator. That's 60 grand a year. This should make me 180 though. Yeah, that's an easy decision to make. It removes emotion from it. A lot of us get caught up with emotions when we're looking at hires, and we're just picturing the $5,000 a month investment when it actually could return us $180,000 that year if we do it. Okay, so write down those biggest opportunities. If I want to do these other things, do I have to hire anybody? Do I have to hire a consulting agency? Do I have to hire a full-time employee? Do I have to pay someone for something, whatever it is? Okay. I'm just going to skip past that one. It's just resources. You guys can use that one. Okay. So I'm going to break everything down. I know I've blown through this, guys. We're at the epic stage of this now, which is nearing the 3 hours. And I want to break everything down that we're going to open up for Q&A right now. This is going to be bringing everything back to center. Okay. So now let's break everything down for the first quarter of 2021. Once we've planned out the year and you've got your objectives for the year and you've got your goals for the year, now we need to say, what do I need to do in this first quarter in 2021? What do I need to do in January, February, and March? The more you can kind of chunk down your goals, the more likely you're going to succeed. So what must I achieve this quarter in order to reach my year one goal? So if I have a goal to do 100 deals this year, and in this last year I did 20, and one of those things that I said in my objectives and goals that I have to do is hire a person, hire a transaction coordinator, I should probably do that in the first quarter. All right, so I might write that down, hire a transaction coordinator in the first quarter. Okay, what projects do I need to do? Well, I need to launch my Carrot Authority Hub and I need to go through the training to get that going. Or, I need to do XYZ, whatever it is. What resources do I need this quarter? Well, maybe I need to earn a little bit more money so I can hire that person. So the resources that I need is I need about 15K so I can float an assistant for a few months as we get round up. So I'm going to close an extra 2 deals in this first quarter so I can then hire the assistant on April 1st or whatever it is. Okay. So get really specific. And then you do the same thing, guys. So you saw me do that for the year. So the other 3 boxes I showed are for the year. So I literally do that for the year. I go, here's my goals for the year. Here's my objectives for the year and the key results. And here's my theme for the year. Okay. And then now I go, okay, cool. Now I've got an idea of what I need to do for the year. Now I say, what do I do for this first quarter? And then you go through this process every quarter. When the second quarter comes along, you look at your year plan, you say, okay, here's what I set out for the year. Now, what do I need to do this quarter? Oh, well, I need to hire another person and I need to launch this other thing over here. And I want to create these 3 processes so I can win back my time. And I'm going to create new objectives around that. This making sense, guys? Cool. This is the way that I do it. I'm not saying you guys need to, but this is the way that I do this is I'm very low tech and our team uses Asana for our project management. But whenever I'm planning is, and I've gone through this and I've said, okay, here's what I need to do this quarter and here's my objectives. Then I'll pull back and I'll write down like all of the potential projects I need to do. And then I literally just put the projects on here, launch this one funnel, hire this person, whatever it is. I just write all these things I need to do that quarter. Okay. And I might have a list of 5 things, 2 things, 12 things, 14 things. If you have to create, if you have to duplicate this slide and create more spots, do it. And then I write down who owns it. If it's just you and your company, you probably own them all. So you just have to space them out more. If you have a team, then cool, put down who owns that thing. And then look at the calendar for that quarter and say, okay, when am I probably going to do this? Well, this project here, you need to do this other one first. I need to hire this person first in order to do this project. So I'll put the hire. I'm going to focus on the hire for these 2 or 3 weeks. I'm just going to make one of these bubbles there. This just shows that awesome. This hire is going to take 3 weeks long. Once I get the hire in place, then I can do this project here. And it might take them a few weeks to get trained up. And so maybe we'll start this project here. Okay. So what I'm kind of doing is I'm kind of plotting it out, finger in the air wise, just saying, hey, these are kind of the projects I probably need to do this quarter. I'm going to plot out with these little green bubbles about when they need to get done. And then now that way I can plan out my months. And so maybe I'm looking at this going, man, there's a lot crammed into February. I don't know if I can do that. What if I just did this in January? I start this next week, and that's a 2-week thing. I'm going to get really focused and I'm going to do it, or I'm going to have someone help me with it. Cool. I'm balancing that out. Man, I really need to move some other stuff out of February. What if I were able to move this to here? So it's kind of branching into February and March. I'm not overloading March. I'm sorry, I'm not overloading February. And you guys see what I just did there, right? That's why I love this little bubble thing. List all your projects and then start to look at the calendar and go, okay, what can I actually accomplish? Okay, cool. And then this is what we'll finish with, guys, right here is these 3 slides is what your ultimate outcome is. A 1-page strategic plan. Here's a very simplified version of that 1-page strategic plan. Write your core values. What market are you in? What's your 3-year target? Like I said, is it a revenue number? Is it something else? And then you can use this as a 1-page kind of strategic plan. Write those goals. What are your quarterly goals? The whole thing. Okay, this is just a simpler version of what I showed you before. Okay, you can do that. Or what we do is we do this. I'll show you right here. What we do is we just take all those same goals. Here's our company goals. Here's our objectives. Here's our quarterlies. And we just put them on a website. We just put them on a Carrot website, essentially. Here's our main goals for the year. Here's the objectives and key results for the year. Here's the objectives for the quarter. Here's our main goals for the quarter. And we just look at that every week when we're making our plan. So as you guys are going through and creating that vision and creating that theme and creating those objectives and projects and scorecard, the whole aim is to have them in a spot that's easy to reference in one spot, ideally. If you have to have a couple spots, cool. But the thing is, you're going to want to essentially review that often. Okay, so what I do is each quarter, when I'm creating my quarterly plan, I review my annual plan. And I say, well, what do I have to do this quarter in order to achieve the annual? And then every single month, about a week before the month starts, I say, hey, let me review that quarterly plan, those objectives and goals. What do I need to do this month? And then I create my top 5 monthly commitments personally. And I write them down. Every single week, I review those top 5 monthly commitments. Okay, I review those puppies. I do it right here on my goal and habit tracker. Okay, I just go, cool, here are my top 5 commits for the month. Here's my top 5 commits for this week to move towards that. And then bam, here's week 2. I bring those top 5 commits down, red, yellow, green. Yep, I nailed that one. This one is behind. It's a red. I'm not really doing well on it. This one, I started it, but I've kind of hit a block. This one is also not started. And then this one is green. I got that one. So then I go over here each week and go, cool. Looks like I've got to work on these 3 commits for the month. What am I going to do this week in week 2 to move those forward? Well, I'm going to focus on getting this one nailed this week. And then next week, I'm going to do this one. And then the 4th week, I'll do that one. So that's the way that I handle all that. And it's very low tech, very low tech. Okay. So that is the planning stack, y'all. That's the planning stack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave with this and we'll open up. I know we're long. We still have hundreds of people on this call. I'm going to open up. I'm going to call 1 to 2 people out. We're going to dive in at the end. And like I said, I'll be on with you guys as long as you want me to. But this is what I want you guys to do. And this is why we plan. This is why we focus on vision first. And then we focus on goals and objectives. Is a lot of us look like this. A lot of us look like this. And whenever I get into a spot where I feel overwhelmed, this is exactly where I am. Okay. Each one of us only has a certain amount of energy to put out there. Each one of us only has a certain amount of energy. Each one of us only has a certain amount of time. And where a lot of us spend our energy, y'all, is just like this. You know, we start this one project over here. We start this thing here and then we stop it. And then we see a shiny object and we start this other thing and we get a little bit of the ways, but we don't really finish it. Okay. And then we start this other thing. We don't finish it. We start this other thing. We don't finish it. And you guys might relate to this. You started this course and didn't finish. You started to set up your Carrot site, but got distracted by this other thing. Or you've got 5 different businesses going on. That's one of the cardinal sins that I see a lot of successful entrepreneurs do. And I've done it as well. That's why I don't do it anymore. Is you get really successful in your real estate business. Now you go, man, software looks like a great business. I'm going to start a software company. You go, man, coaching sounds amazing. I'm going to start a coaching business. And now you've got your energy spread between 3 or 4 or 5 different businesses. Guys, I don't think that you running 2, 3, 4, 5 businesses is a badge of honor. That's not a badge of honor at all. Now, if you own 5 businesses and you run none of them and someone else runs them successfully, or you run one of them and 4 people run the other ones, that's good. But what most people do is they have 3 or 4 or 5 businesses and they're running all of them. And it means you end up spreading your bandwidth and you don't really go very far. Instead, what we want to shift to is this. Okay, since we only have so much energy and so much time here on earth, are we using our time wisely while we have it? So this line here, y'all, is the exact same length. Okay, this line right here is the exact same length as all of these little lines put together. All these little lines put together right here are the exact same length as this. So many of us are spreading our energy everywhere. We're working our butts off. We get to the end of the week, the month, the year, the quarter, and we say, man, I did so much work, but I don't really have much to show for it. What we need to do is hyper-focus in 2021 and say, I'm going to focus on growing 1 business this next year. I'm going to focus on 1 or 2 marketing methods like Adam Mitchell. Adam Mitchell spread a ton of his energy out into all these different marketing methods, 5, 6, 7 different marketing methods, cold calling, direct mail, Google pay-per-click, SEO with Carrot, all these different things. And he dropped $40,000 in marketing the first year in Dallas and lost almost all of it because he's trying too much. He watched the epic planning call at the end of 2018. He said in 2019, I'm going to hyper-focus on 1 method. He hyper-focused on just Carrot, y'all. Just Carrot. He said, I'm just going to do the online. I'm just going to do the SEO, the evergreen marketing. I'm going to ramp it up with Google paid marketing. I'm going to leverage Carrot's training. Guys, this year, 18 months after he started that and made that shift to focus on one thing, he went from losing $40,000 and trying everything to over $500,000 while he still has a full-time job in one of the most competitive markets in the country when hundreds of other Carrot clients were there way before him because he focused his energy into one spot. And I want you guys to look at that. Where can you focus your energy into one spot in a big way in 2021? All right. So guys, let me do this now. I'm going to pop out of presentation mode. I want to ask you guys a couple questions. I'm going to bring someone on live. Awesome, Robert. Robert says, great presentation and content. Got to go. No, Robert, dude, I appreciate you, man. We're wrapping up. I'm just gonna bring someone on live. So Jay, I love that energy graph. Perfect representation of focus and lack of focus. Awesome. I love it, guys. Let's see. Love your planning stack. So intentional and focused and efficient. Keith, planning and documentation system has always been my biggest struggle. I know it's holding me back as a leader and tying me to tasks I don't need to accomplish. I needed this call. Keith, dude, let's hop on for sure. When you're down here this spring, when we get down here for that big donation you made, we'll dive in and let's get your planning stack nailed. Okay. Is that spreadsheet somewhere that we can download it? The spreadsheet for this, yes, for the habit tracker, just go to carrot.com/habits. And that's what I use personally myself. I use it every day, every single day. All right, guys. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to bring one person on live, and then at the end of the call, I'm going to announce one person that I'm going to do a 30-minute free session with sometime the first couple weeks in January. We're going to dial in your goals. I'm going to challenge you on what your challenges need to be in this coming year. And here's what I want to do right now is I want you guys to post in what's your single biggest takeaway from this workshop. What's your single biggest takeaway from this workshop that you are going to step into 2021 executing for sure? Pop in what your single biggest takeaway is going to be. They're going to execute in 2021. And when you do that, I want you to do this before you guys do that. Put in how much you think that's going to be worth monetary wise, how much it's going to be worth to your business and to you in 2021 with it when you take this move. Scott, developing the habit, how much do you think that's going to be worth to you when you execute that in your business and life? Is it going to be worth 10,000, 100,000, $1 million? Every single time I go to a mastermind of mine, I pull out of there with at least 2 to 3 ideas that are going to make me at least $500,000 every single time. Now I got to execute them now, right? So organization, Kathy. So what's it going to be worth for you, Kathy? Is if you get more organized, how much time is it going to buy back for you? You know, how much money is that going to help you make? Trina, vision. It's worth $100,000. Trina, this call right here, when you execute it, is $100,000 3 hours for you. That right there is $33,000 an hour that you are potentially earning from this knowledge. Now you got to go execute it. Okay. Justin, what's it worth for you, man? Okay. Is that going to buy you back time? Is it going to help you grow your business? If you have more energy, what's it going to be? Jay, mindset shift, $250,000 mindset shift from Jay. Okay. Eric, doing things daily. Because you do these things daily, Eric. Eric says 600K is what it's going to be worth for him over the coming years. Scott, it'll jack me up by 150K for the year. For sure, dude, probably more. Okay. Seth, having clarity in yourself, focus business and remove the distractions, $100,000 impact. Okay. Stacia, organization, action, reflect, adjust, repeat, $100,000 impact. The funny thing is, guys, you guys look at these big numbers. That is not out of the question at all. If she was able to get a little bit more organized, have a better plan for action, use the life operating system, if her average commission per transaction is, let's say, 8K over the next 2 years, guys, we're only talking about like four extra transactions per year. She'll probably crush that with better organization and a better process. Okay. Kurt, tracking healthy habits, being a lighthouse to my wife. Dude, that one's so amazing. I love that. Don't be a tugboat, right? Be a lighthouse, man. Okay. Keith, shifting to being versus becoming. I am a leader versus I want to be a better leader, dude. 100%. I get caught in that all the time. You know, I'm not a cycler. I'm not a runner. I am. Okay. 500K. April, consistency, 150K for sure. Okay. Awesome. So what I'm going to do is this. I want you guys to pop in right now through the comments box. Type a 1 to 2 sentence reason why I should choose you right now to hop on live with me to talk about your goals. And then everyone who has time can listen in and we can kind of hack through some of your limiting beliefs over the next 10, 15 minutes. So you guys have 60 seconds to type it up. 1 to 2 sentences on why you want, why I should choose you to hop on with me live right now and what it's going to mean to you. Okay, why I should choose you to hop on with me live right now and what it's going to mean to you. And you caveats, you have to have a webcam and you have to be able to get your webcam and your audio working quickly. We can't sit here for 5 minutes making it work. Okay. So while you guys are typing that up, I'm going to look at some of these other ones. Home buying, guys, $1 million impact, right? Focus on action daily, 150K impact. Directing focus and energy, 250K impact. I love it, Rick. I love it, man. This is awesome, guys. This is inspiring for me. So pop through, and I'm gonna pick here in about a minute. If anyone wants to hop on with me right now live in front of people, be vulnerable. I'm gonna challenge you. Okay. Why should I pick you to do this, and what will it mean to you? Like, how will it impact you if we can nail what we're looking to nail? Okay. Okay. Kathy says, should not talk to me. I don't have a microphone in this headset, but Kathy, if we do end up picking you for the 30-minute one-on-one session with me, I will just make sure that you can hop on Zoom with me. Okay. Vincent says, I'll be a great student, multiply the knowledge. This will be life-changing for my family. How so, Vincent? Let me know. Like, how will it be life-changing for your family? Okay. San, I'm ready to forgetting. Jay, bless you, Trevor. I have to run since I have a coaching call. I am the coach, 15 minutes, happiest 2021. Man, I appreciate you, Jay, big time. Thank you for hanging on. Scott, my name is horrible, so I want to go to another deserving member. Thanks, man. I love it. Love it. Cool. I'll wait another 20 seconds or so, and then I'm going to pick somebody on here. Even if someone didn't put a comment on here, some other people have been doing some amazing comments earlier. Right here, Andy. After 17 years, I was laid off due to COVID this year. I pivoted to start my carrot site this fall. It's going to help me focus on getting my first deal in the proper marketing. I love it, man. I love it. And like I said, guys, if you guys have not joined Carrot yet, this is a perfect time to join before the new year. If you click that button on the page that you're viewing right now, you're going to be able to get the advanced marketer plan, which has premium phone support, has weekly coaching calls, has an onboarding call, has free access to our 30-day challenge for January, has all of our marketing tools. You're going to be able to get 50% off that for the first 2 months and other bonuses. Vincent, I want to rebuild everything I lost. Cool. Habits and routines. This could mean being able to provide for my family and have freedom for time. Goals, bad internet, wish I could. Okay, cool. So what I'm gonna do right now, guys, I'm just gonna close my eyes. I'm gonna scroll down. I'm just gonna select whoever pops up here, and then we'll do it. Bam. Let's see. Oh, let me scroll down further because that wasn't a submission. That was a comment from earlier. This isn't working very well. Cool, man. Awesome, dude. All right, cool. Let's do this. I'm gonna do this here. That little method wasn't working well for me, so let me do this. What's up, Dave? How you doing, man? Okay, sorry guys, having a little technical difficulty. There we go. I found it. All right, so I want to see if I can even make this happen. Actually, guys, I might have been a little bit. Okay, cool. Trina, let's call you in here. So I'm going to send you an invite, Trina. And guys, please, just have Trina. I'm going to send this through, but Trina, if you can be the only one, please, that clicks this and comes in. This is me just being vulnerable. So Trina, I want you to go to that link right there. If you're still on here, Trina, let's do it. And let's see if we can get you on here. Okay. Yeah, I know, Scott. If only you could use the wheel of names, dude. I didn't plan that ahead very well, man. I didn't plan it ahead very well. And so, Trina, if you can pop on here, we're going to do a 10-minute or so session with you if you're able to get on here in the next couple minutes. If not, what I'll do is I'll probably just announce, I'll pick and announce the 30-minute session winner, and then we'll get that set up over the next 2 to 3 weeks with someone in here. And I'll literally scroll up and down here, and I'll just choose someone on here, and then we'll reach out to you guys and get you set up with a call with me. Dave, man, I appreciate it, dude. Do it. Awesome. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, so Trina, if you're able to click that link or copy and paste it into the browser, pop in over here. We'll bring you on live. Oh, there we go. We got Trina on here, and Dave's in here too. So I might be able to bring Dave in also. So I'm gonna add Trina to the stream right now.
We'll reach out to you guys.
Cool. One second. Let me put my headset in. Echo.
Awesome. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, so Trina, if you're able to click that link or copy and paste it in the browser, pop in over here. We'll bring you on live.
Okay.
Yeah, Trina on here. Dave's in here too.
There we go. Sweet. All right, Trina.
Hello.
How you doing? This is the first time I've ever brought you on live, like on one of these webinars. So I'm happy that it's working so far, which is cool. Okay, cool. Well, I've got you on live here, and so I appreciate you engaging on today's call. It's been awesome. I love the comments you're putting in there. So Trina, where do you feel for 2021?
Okay, I've got a huge echo.
Yeah, it's probably. I'm trying to think. It's probably. Do you have a headset or headphones?
A headset.
Yeah, that will solve it if you have something. If not.
Okay, I've got a huge echo. Okay.
Oh, you know what it is, Trina? Actually, it's because you're in the live stream and you've got the other one up. So pause my YouTube video.
Got it.
Yep, there we go.
That is so much better.
Cool. There we got it. Sweet.
I was like, what is going on? I can hear everything 10 seconds after. Okay,
awesome.
So what's your question?
Cool. Awesome. So first of all, thanks for coming on, and so people know who you are. So where do you live, and then what do you do? Are you an investor? Are you an agent? What's your focus?
I live in Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada. Yep. And I'm an investor. I've been investing in real estate for 13 years, although just this year I kind of went more active, trying to make it a go of it to do this full time. And I've had some successes, and I need more.
Cool.
Yeah.
I love it. So let me follow up with that. So you said I need more. Clarify that, like define what that is for you. Is it more deals? Is it more revenue? And then why do you need it? What is the ultimate reason that you are wanting to increase your revenue? What would help you?
Well, yeah, like I started into real estate investing this year full time because I thought, okay, like I was transitioning from jobs and I thought, you know what, I've been doing real estate for 13 years. I could maybe make this a full-time job. So that's what I'm trying to do. I've been living off of savings. I've bought one deal this year, like looking for leads. My coach set me up with a Carrot site, which is how I found out about you. Cool. And literally, like, I'm not getting it. I haven't got any leads from Carrot this year. And so I'm like, I went to, so I just hadn't put, like, somebody else set it up for me and I didn't know even what to do with it, kind of thing. Yep. So
cool.
I watched your podcast that you did with some other people, and I thought, wow, this guy's amazing. And I'm so privileged to be on this call with you. I've been like in tears today, just with like the breakthroughs and the things that I've learned and just the value that you've provided. So thank you so much.
I love it. I love it. That means the world to me. And that's why I do what I do. You know, the software side of it, we're good at it. I love it. But honestly, it's my vehicle so I can connect with people like you. It's like, it's awesome. My vehicle to connect with entrepreneurs, which I love. So a couple questions. When you're doing the 6 Fs, where were you the lowest on your 6 Fs?
My lowest was financial. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then if you were to grade that, let's say a 4 this time next year, and just tell us what you'd be willing to share. If you don't want to share it, that's totally fine. But if you were to look back December 30th, 2021, and it was a 4, what would that look like? What revenue is that kind of thing?
Yeah. You know what? Like my expenses are low and I'm happy with a little. So anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 cash flow would be really great for me. I've got long-term investments that have equity pay down, but that's also good, but I need some cash flow here.
Okay, cool. So it sounds like the financial part we need to get up. And then that one deal that you did, how'd you get that one deal?
Bandit sign. So I took a piece of plastic, wrote on it, "We buy houses," put it out on the street, and somebody called me about it.
Oh, cool. So we should get Keith, if you're still on here, man, we need to get you on a call one of these days, because Keith is up in Washington. And he's actually been my accountability partner on my bike riding thing this month. He's been to Carrot Camp a couple of times, an amazing dude, good friend. But he started with bandit signs, and he started putting out more and more bandit signs. And then it took him a little bit of time to get his Carrot momentum up. But now he's closing somewhere in the 7 to 10 deals a month. And oftentimes half of those deals are from Carrot, which is really cool.
Beautiful.
I should get a training call with Keith in the new year, and maybe Keith, you and I can hop on and just map out in detail what you had to do to go from no deals to deals and then scaling it up. That'd be really fun.
Yeah.
But here's what I would do. Here's what I would do as far as your challenge, Trina. So on the financial side of it, like the first thing that I personally would do is, if bandit signs worked to get your first deal, we know it works. And then what I usually like to do is, how do I get more of that? Am I able to do more of that? And so, are you able to put out more bandit signs? Is that something that at least for a short-term strategy can work for you?
Yep.
Okay. So that's the first thing I would do, is I always repeat what worked for me the first time, and can I scale it up? If it's something that you don't want to do long-term, like you may not want to have to drive around putting bandit signs up forever, then you can always say, well, this is going to be for this season, right? Well, for the next 6 months or for 2021, I'm going to get really good at bandit signs. We're going to keep doing that, but I'm also going to add on the Carrot evergreen side of it and get that evergreen part of it. That's exactly what Keith did. And so a couple of things that you can do. The 30-day challenge, something I would highly suggest that you do this next month. We do them every single month. It's normally $100, but there's some sort of a deal on that page. I can't tell you. I don't remember what the deal is for the existing Carrot customers. But on the page that everyone's viewing this, there's 2 big buttons. One says for newer members. The other one says for existing. Click that. A part of that deal is you get the 30-day challenge, or just, you know what I'll do? If you didn't take that, I'll just give you the 30-day challenge tuition in January for free. So don't worry about that. Brendan, if you're still watching this and you're not on your lunch break or something, if you can jot down Trina, and then Trina, if you can send me your best information somehow, just my email is trevor@carrot.com. Just email me there, and my team will get you that tuition for the January taken care of.
That is very generous. Thank you.
Awesome. So we'll get you in the challenge, because the main things you need to do here, Trina, are this. The 30-day challenge can be your challenge for that financial part of the 6 Fs. But the first thing we need to do is figure out, do you have any marketing budget to get leads coming in quick? If so, we are finding Google pay-per-click is working really well in parts of Canada, because there's not as much competition as there are in some cities in the States, like Dallas and stuff like that.
Okay.
So Google pay-per-click can still work really, really well right now if you've got some budget. Like if your average profit per deal is $20,000, I'm making up a number, and you're willing to trade $5,000 for that 20,000 in marketing, then you should be prepared and have at least $5,000 sitting aside for that marketing. One of the biggest mistakes that I see people making, I've made this myself, is our average profit per deal is 20K. And then we say, well, I've only got $500 to put into marketing, but that's just, you might be able to get a deal with 500, but really your competition is paying $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for that same deal. And that's why they're winning the deals and the other person's not. And so go through that equation, write down what your average profit per deal is, write down what you'd be willing to trade in marketing to get that deal. So a good kind of round number is to start with 25%. If your average profit per deal is 10K, you maybe would trade $2,500 to get a deal done. What I'll do oftentimes, Trina, is for the first deal with a new marketing method, I'd be willing to spend more money to get that first deal done, just to prove it out, just to get momentum. And so same thing, if your average profit per deal is 10K and you'd be willing to trade in under normal circumstances $2,500 to get that $10,000, I may say, you know what, for this first deal, I might be willing to trade up to 5K for it. And so you're optimizing that ad, or you're buying more bandit signs to kind of try out which corners are the best ones, or whatever that marketing method is. And that way you're not stopping at $1,000 in marketing put in, or $1,500 or $1,800 or $2,200, when that $10,000 deal might be at $3,300 invested in. And then bam, you got the deal, and you've got $7,000 more to put back in over and above paying off your marketing expense. Take half of that, put it back into marketing, half of it goes over here, and then just keep on doing that. Those are the actions I'd walk through, is go through that calculation, figure out what you'd be willing to trade in marketing dollars, and then go through the 30-day challenge with that in mind. Say, okay, I'd be willing to trade $5,000 for my $20,000 deal, and the 30-day challenge will help you to identify what type of marketing you need to do it. If you've got a bunch of money sitting aside to do that, then you can accelerate it with paid marketing. If not, Craigslist still works great, honestly, and most people are ignoring it. Like, look at the for sale by owner sections on there, and then email or message every single person on the for sale by owner section every day for a month. Just see it if it works. If it doesn't work for you after a month, discard it and don't do it. But every day for a month, email the for sale by owner section and say, hey, I noticed you have a house for sale over here. Are you the owner, or the owner of the property? Because you don't want to be working with the agent, because they're not going to be as willing to negotiate. And when you're doing that Craigslist search, put in words in there that are like motivated, fire damage, vacant, fixer upper, because that's going to then narrow down all those for sale by owner properties with just the ones that are probably showing more motivation. And you might send 3, 4, 5, 10 messages a day. Take you 10 minutes. And then you'll be able to get them back, make an offer on every single one of them that has a seller. Hey, awesome. I'm looking for a property in that area. Would you mind hopping on a call and we can kind of talk about it? And I might be willing to make you an offer. Most of them are going to get turned down, but if you make 100 offers that month, you might get one that does it, $25,000 profit. Bam! Now you can put that money the next month into paid marketing. So you can do it with paid marketing, accelerate, or hustling with free marketing, just with your time.
Awesome.
Cool. Awesome. I could talk to you for 2 hours on stuff, but what we'll do is let's get you in the 30-day challenge. We'll be able to dive in with you on that. And then if you haven't already, the advanced marketer plan has onboarding calls. Get an onboarding call set up if you're in the advanced marketer plan. If you're not in that plan, upgrade to it, get a call set up, and you can always downgrade later. So we got you. All right.
Awesome.
Cool.
Well, thank you so much. God bless. I love your mission. I love your vision for helping people and your love for God.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. And yeah, email me and we'll get you the tuition set up for you. All
Thank
right.
you so much. It's a huge blessing.
Awesome. Thanks, Trina. Have a good one. Have a good New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
You too.
How do I
Bye-bye.
leave? Oh, leave.
I'll boot you out of here. All right. Last one here. What's up, Dave? How's it going, man? Oh, I can't hear you.
Hey, Trevor. What's up, man?
There he is. Dude, good to chat with you. It's been a long time.
Yeah, you too, man. You too. Great stuff today.
Thanks, man.
Great
So what's new, dude? What's new since last time we chatted? How'd 2020 go for you?
It was an interesting year for sure, and kind of had some ups and downs, but yeah, it was great to have the extra time with the family for sure, like you were saying.
Good. Good. Well, dude, let's dive in while I got you here. So 6 Fs, where were your weak spots on there, and what do you want to focus in on?
Yeah, definitely. I think financial is definitely something I want to really explode this year. Mm-hmm. And also my fitness and health. You inspired me. I grabbed my laptop and came down and hopped on the elliptical while we were going through some of those things today. So
cool. Well, dude, let's focus on the fitness and health part of it, because like I said, the financial one I think is the main reason everyone jumped on here, but the fitness and health one, I mean, it goes without saying. It's like, if we don't have that, the rest of the other stuff doesn't matter. Now, finances can help make it easier, right? Like, you can build a gym and hire a coach to come in here. Like, finances help with that stuff. But the stuff that I did this month, I posted on Instagram. Most of it was free, if not almost free. The Zwift app, $14 a month. A borrowed bike. I borrowed it from a buddy of mine. I did buy the trainer, but you can buy the trainer for not much. And so anyway, let's focus on that one, dude. Yeah. So what were you 1 out of 5 on fitness?
So I was probably a 2.5.
Yep.
More on the health side. I unfortunately got some markers for potential type 2 diabetes going on. So I got to change my diet, as well as getting more regular, consistent exercise going.
Dude, so do you remember a time when you felt like amazing fitness and health wise?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure.
When was it, and kind of what were you doing at that time, like physically and health wise?
Yeah, it was probably staying away from the grains and getting consistent exercise.
What kind of exercise were you doing?
I was doing anything from some mountain biking to running, even walking, and some interval type training, strength training.
Okay, cool. And how long ago was that moment where you're like, man, I just felt so great? How long ago was that?
Yeah, that's probably about 4 years ago.
Okay, it's not too far off, man. That's the thing, you know. So as you were going through the 6 Fs, did you have any thoughts on what you'd want to do for that physical challenge to kind of get your habit and discipline formed again on it?
Yeah, I like the idea. Someone threw out there the sprint for the Spartan sprint.
Yep.
That as a group, actually, a bunch of hockey guys, and I did that up in Breckenridge, which was a blast. So
cool.
Thinking about maybe doing that, and I like the thought of the everyday consistency. Something.
The everyday is key, man. That's something I missed for years and years. Even after I knew it, I thought I could gain the system. Like, well, I don't have to do it every day. Like, I can do it 4 days a week or 3 or whatever. Man, but there's something about the everyday. It's because as soon as you do something every day, write every day, or go run every day, or stretch every day, or meditate, like whatever it is, all of a sudden it's a part of you. Like, it's a part of your fabric. And where I was struggling before, David, was when I wasn't doing it every day, I was falling back to the structure that I had around me. Like, oh, well, when I'm in the office, I will work out because the trainer's there and there's some people here that will work out with me. But if I was traveling or over the holidays, the reason I did this challenge over the holidays was because usually I completely eat crappy food. I sleep in. I let the holidays take me, and I come back worse. I'm like, this time I'm going to come back from the holidays like better with more energy and not feel sluggish. And that's what I did. And so, man, like right now, I just can't picture not working out tomorrow. I just can't picture it because I feel so good, and everything else sharpens. Your mind sharpens. You because you're doing that thing daily. Now it's like, oh, well, I'm just going to drink more water because I worked out, and I'm going to drink water. And it just kicks off all of these habits, which are amazing. So the Spartan Sprint would be amazing. Let's do this, man. If you're willing to commit to this, when do you want to do the Spartan Sprint?
Yeah, whenever it comes to town, I guess is probably going to drive that.
And you're up in Colorado?
Yeah, I haven't looked at that.
Well, we're going to look at it right now.
Right on.
So we're going to look at it right now. And what I'm going to do, man, is late Christmas present for you. I know it's not big, but let's sign you up for a Spartan Sprint today. And I'm going to Venmo you the cost of the Spartan Sprint registration fee. And so Colorado Springs, Spartan Super 10K and Sprint 5K weekend. So let me ask you this really fast. So the Sprint 5K, is that something that you would be able to kind of roll out of bed even tomorrow and do without a lot of training? Like, could you think you could? It might hurt, right? But could you technically do that without a lot of training?
I could probably pull that off.
Okay. So where I'm going with this is ideally we want it to be something where it's really hard and you're like, you almost think that you almost couldn't do it. And you've done a sprint before. I'm not going to tell you you've got to do it, but what I'm going to edge you to is the super, because I think you could roll out of bed and do a 5K Spartan Sprint, and it would be a good thing for sure. But I think this would like create change within you. When my coach challenged me on the half marathon, he's like, how much? He said, what's the furthest you've ever ran? I said 5 miles. He goes, well, 5 miles isn't too far off from like a half marathon. I'm like, whoa, no, that was very far off. And he goes, so what? How long would it take you to train? He goes, I don't know, like 90 days, you think? I go, I guess. He goes, cool. Let's pick a date right now. You're doing a half marathon. I'm like, oh shit. And so, dude, that was like one of the best things ever. If I would have picked 5 miles, I could have done that rolling out of bed, just and done. It would have been hard. It would have hurt, but it was so hard that I had to train. And I knew that I could not do a half marathon without actually changing habits and disciplines. And so I'm going to challenge you on that one. And so it looks like they've got June. I'm looking on the super right now. They've got June. There's some age group ones. It's $159 for the super. We can look at the sprint too. Let's see. So the sprint is also in June. Here's if I were your coach, and dude, don't commit to it just because I'm saying this on a call in front of people. But if I was your coach, I would say you're doing the Spartan Super and you're doing it in June. That gives you half a year to train, and pick one of these, and I'll Venmo you the $159.99. And as long as you sign up for it by the end of the day today, I'll Venmo you the $159.99, and let's get you signed up, man. So that'll give you a full 6 months, which is plenty of time to be able to do that. You'll crush it. And then what I'd love to see you do is message that to some of your buddies and say, hey guys, this is going to be hard, way out of my comfort zone, but I signed up for the 10K super in June. I'd love to have some of you join me. I bet you'll get some joins.
Sure.
All right, man. Are you willing to commit to that?
Yeah, I think, definitely. The date is the only thing that might hold me up, but I think I can probably plan around it.
Yep, that's the thing, man. I mean, if that date doesn't work, pick another one. Like pick, there's the other. There's a lot of other types of races. I think the big thing is pick something that's freaking hard that's going to require you to wake up and go, damn, I can't miss this training session because I won't be able to do that thing without training today.
Right.
And you're going to start to see that mental shift happen after you say yes to the hard thing 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20 times. The only problem with the June is it's so far out. It's like if it was a marathon, I think, October, November would be great or something like that. I think the 10K probably is great for you too. It'd be amazing if there's something like in April or May, but June would work. But yeah, if that day doesn't work, dude, find one that's Tough Mudder. Find one that's
Sure.
A half marathon. It's a 10K race somewhere or something like that. And then right here, so Spartan Super training schedule. Really cool thing is it gives it all for you. So here's a 16 week, which is just about what you'd be looking for. So right there, man, like there's literally a training program for you right there.
Okay.
A 16-week Spartan Super training program. So that's your specific part, right? Do 2 mile light run walk. So you can see it's very palatable here.
Nice.
I mean, 3 mile run, that's not easy starting from scratch, dude. When I started my half marathon, that hurt. It sucked. But after I did that for a week or two, I'm like, damn, I got the 3 miles now. Like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
It feels great. So I'll send this through to you. Like I said, I want you to commit to what you feel not comfortable with. It should not be comfortable. It should be challenging. You should be like, damn, that sounds really hard. And it should change. And it should make it to where at the end of this call, you go, what did I just sign up for? Like, what did I just sign up for? If you don't have that feeling, it's too easy.
Right. No, yeah, man. Thank you. That's awesome.
So dude, like I said, I'll commit to this. If you do end up signing up for something, I'll give you a little bit more time. If you sign up for something by the end of the day tomorrow, Thursday night, I'll Venmo you the 160 or whatever the cost is let's say under $250. I'll pay for it as long as you invite some of your friends to it as well, motivate some of them. Now let's shift to the financial side of it. What do you, if you could look back December 30th, and know, man, I had an amazing 2021. What would that look like? What would that look like, Dave, financially in your business?
I think, I think I'm shooting for $1 million net.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
I got, routine and habits was a big part of the takeaway today. And I've already started on that with another coach that I have, and really building that out so that mainly wholesaling, and I'm going to be reinvesting and build a portfolio hopefully before the end of the year, if not third quarter, and building from there. So
cool, dude. So what would you have to do in 2021 to get you to that $1 million net?
I think the shooting for 10 deals a month by mid-year.
Cool. And then what's working for you? What's working for you right now to do that?
So I've definitely 2020 threw some curveballs and found myself, kind of rutting out and bouncing back and rutting out and bouncing back. So, and I think it's all, it's been a lot of cold calling, text messaging, even knocking on doors. But Denver's a pretty crazy market, so we've been doing some stuff virtually as well that I think we'll get some more traction on. Cool.
Yeah, the Denver market, I don't know if you've seen it all. We've got another guy up there in Denver, Denver Fix and Flip. Is that what it is?
Property Flip?
Yeah, Denver Property Flip, Eric.
Yeah.
Especially in a market that's really hot. That's one thing that's really cracking through with messaging wise is with the iBuyers in the markets that are really hot. It's the whole, hey, we can pay more than other people. And for him, the reason that they're able to say that is because of the fix and list part of it.
Yeah.
So that might be something that's potentially interesting. If that's not something you guys want to do, then you could even maybe partner with Eric and his company to do the fix and list part of it there. And you could share in part of that, because that alone of the 15 or so transactions that he had going on last time I talked to him about this, about 8 or 9 of them were the fix and list. Because that's what's cracking through messaging wise right now. 2 or 3 were wholesale, and the other ones were list, because we're in that market. It's seller's market, So that's one of the first things I would look at is look at your current lead flow and say, what with the current leads I'm already getting could we do to better serve these clients and also make a profit on more of those leads? How can we, rather than I'm making numbers up, but 1 in 15 of these leads into a deal, how can we turn 1 in 8? And maybe this one over here is a listing or whatever. Do you guys have your agent's license, or are you aligning with any agents in any ways?
Yeah, I've got I've got some agents I've been working with, as well as been kicking around the idea of getting that just for the referral side of it, because that's definitely a side to monetize that. Even with some of the wholesaling stuff, it looks like that we might all need to be licensed anyways at some point in the future.
Yeah, it's something I would suggest for sure. Number one, like you're saying, if laws start to change elsewhere, then you're ahead of the game and you're not scrambling for it. But yeah, number two, especially right now where it's a massive seller's market, a lot of those seller leads are retail leads, and then you're going to be able to turn a good hunk of them into listings. And it doesn't even have to be you to do it. As long as you got the license, you partner with an amazing agent, they list it, you get the split on it.
Yeah.
And then look at fix and list as an opportunity, because those are some of the biggest profits we're seeing Eric pull out and some other ones in big markets.
Sure.
Or partner with him on that. Other things. So with CarrotWise, what are you guys doing there? I know you've been with us for quite some time, but we haven't chatted in a while.
Yeah, I signed up for the strategy session and was going to jump into that 30-day challenge too, to for the accountability side. I think it's something I need to just leverage more.
Okay.
And heard some great feedback from other people.
Cool.
Tyler Austin as well. So yeah,
cool.
That's my plan for 2021.
I love it, man. So on the financial side right now, that's an amazing goal. Absolutely love that goal. And then, you've got the 30-day challenge. Do that in January, February. Set up the strategy call. If after that you're still not clear, or the plan's not working, dude, let's chat, or we can set up a little training session or something like that. And we can do it. All right.
Awesome.
Cool. Well, Dave, dude, I appreciate you popping in here, man, and connecting with you. Like I said, it seemed like a few years since we've chatted last. So
yeah,
it's good seeing your face and chatting. And dude, I'm gonna hold you to it on that Spartan, the Spartan. What do they call the super?
Super.
So you're gonna graduate from the sprint to the super. It's gonna be hard, but it'll push you in good ways. If you sign up for it before and send me the receipt before tomorrow, at the end of the day, dude, I'll Venmo you the $160, and then I'll do training with you. Like I'll commit to that. If you wanted to do some. We could set up like a Marco Polo group or something like that and get some other people along the way. I'm starting something called 75 Hard, which is going to be hard, very hard, but it's 75 days in a row, reading 10 pages a day, not listening to, it's reading 10 pages, 2 workouts a day. They don't have to be like hard workouts, but one outside, one inside. No cheat meals for 75 days, no alcohol. Those are be insanely hard for me, dude. And I was telling Pete and my team, like, I never would have been able to even think that I could do the 75 hard until I did this daily challenge with my biking this month. I had all these excuses. I'm like, all right, I know I can do something daily now. And that to me is the next level. So I'd be pumped to be a part of an accountability group with you, each one of us doing our own challenges, but rooting each other on.
Right on, man. Yeah, it's about the habits and routines.
Cool.
So appreciate it, man.
I love it. Well, Dave, appreciate it, man. Have an amazing new year. Email me, Trevor@carrot.com, and I'll get you the Venmo. Get signed up.
Thanks, bud.
See you, buddy. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this puppy up. This is probably the most epic planning call that we've ever had. It's the first time I've taken on a live Q&A. And, man, I want you guys to do this before we wrap up today. We're almost 4 hours in, so half a day, which I usually spend about a day on my epic planning personally. And so this 4 hours I feel is going to be an amazing investment for all of y'all. And there's a few things I want you guys to do. Number one, pop through the comments box right now. Like I said, so many of you guys put in the value that you got in here, but pop through the comments box right now, y'all. What is the one big action that you're taking out of this that you're going to commit to doing within the next 24 hours from one of your 6 Fs? Pop it in there. I want you to have the accountability. I want you guys and gals to pair up even with this. Exchange emails, exchange Instagram, whatever it is. Pair up and create the accountability groups together. It looks like we've already got people taking action. Justin, what's up, dude? Justin just signed up for a half marathon just before your birthday. Dude, literally go to Google and type half marathon training in blah, however much time that it is, put that in there and it'll give you a training plan, then just follow it. Okay. Looks like Scott's got a half marathon Feb 28th. Thank you, Paula. I appreciate it. And like I was saying, guys and gals, if you're new to Carrot or have not joined Carrot yet, this is the last chance to, we revitalized the Cyber Monday deal is what we did for 2 or 3 days is all around this call. And this is your best chance to join Carrot, save 50% upfront, get the 30-day challenge access, which is $100 by itself. Click that link on the screen right there on the page that you're viewing it. It says join Carrot and save. Or if you're already an existing member, click that one. And there's an offer for existing members as well. Just choose if you're an investor or an agent. I think it's about the same. It's a couple $100 up front. You get some bonuses. I think the 30-day challenge and some other stuff. And then you get upgraded to the advanced marketer plan. Then it renews at the advanced marketer plan price after that. But just check out that, guys. We'd love to work with you more. And like we were saying, there's the resources below that. So if anyone is still getting the PDF, just refresh this whole page, come back to this page, refresh it. And those links should be the slide deck. And like I said, when you're doing it, don't click request access because we won't give you access to edit the slide deck. But what you need to do is go up to the top left, click file, and go down to make a copy and make yourself your own copy of the deck. And so y'all, I'm so appreciative of everybody here. Number one, we have over 100 people hanging on here still. Almost 4 hours in, which is crazy. Kathy Denworth signed up for the 30-day challenge again. Paula Quinn already scheduled her health challenge. Guys, we've got people taking action here. San is joining Carrot right now. I love it. Scott, people are trading emails. Guys, this is what it's all about. Like I don't hop in this call to come and sell. I don't hop in this call to come and pitch. I don't hop in this call to come and teach Carrot. This call is to teach you what is working for me in my life, and every year it adjusts and changes and improves. And hopefully you guys are able to take something away from it. I truly want you all to have an epic year. I want you guys to make 2021 your best year. And I want you to release the pressure from having to achieve what other people are placing on you. I want you to achieve what you want to achieve. And that's where writing that vision story is so critical. I want you, if you don't have it, pull back. It's hard work. It might take some time to do it. It might take some fits and starts, but write that vision story, the ideal average day, 20 years from now, 10 years from now, 5 years from now. How do you wake up, every moment pretty much throughout the day until you go to bed? Get crazy crystal clear in that vision. Get excited about it. I want you smiling, halfway through it when you're writing it going, damn, that would be way cool to live this life in 10 years or 5 years or 20 years. Because when you write it down, it gives you a chance to do so. If you don't write it down, there's no chance. There's no chance to do it. What you're going to live is busyness of whatever's thrown at your way. And then go through and use that slide deck, y'all, to create your theme, to put those goals in there, the good, better, best goals, to make your objectives for the year and for the quarter, and then make your one pager that you can put up there. All right, guys. So have an amazing, amazing rest of the week. Have an amazing new year. I'm going to go rest my voice a little bit, and I'm actually going to wrap up some of my planning with my team right after this call since I've been off for a week. But I love it. There's people in here looking for accountability partners. If you don't have an accountability partner, the 30-day challenge is another amazing spot to get accountability partners. So with this package, you can click the button. You will get the 30-day challenge for January for free, or you can go to here. Let me send you guys through. I think this is the link to join January's challenge if you're not getting that package. So here's the link to join the 30-day challenge if you're not wanting to get the epic package that we've got. Kelly, awesome, great session. You nailed it. Thank you. And here's what I want you guys to do. This would be extra, extra special, okay? So I am going to pick right now somebody. I'm just going to randomly scroll up here towards the bottom, and I'm going to pick somebody to do a 30-minute session with me in the next 2 weeks. So that is still happening. I'll pick it right now, and you got to be on live to get it. But what I'd love more than anything, y'all, is this. My email is trevor@carrot.com. My Instagram is trevor.mock. And for anybody that records a short video, 30 to 60 seconds on your cell phone, and then sends it to me on Instagram, or uploads it to Instagram and tags me to it, or sends me the email of it, just telling me about what you pulled away from this call. Hey, this is Trevor with blah, blah, blah. I was just on Trevor's epic planning call, and here's what I got out of it. Here's how I think it's going to change my life. Send me a 30 to 60 second, maybe even up to 2-minute video. Tag me to it on Instagram, or email it to me at trevor@carrot.com. Let me know who you are, what you got, why you got on the call, like what you hope to get out of it, what you did get out of it. Did anything surprise you that you got out of it that you didn't think? What the biggest mindset shift is for you that you're going to carry forward, and what it's worth to your business. Okay. So right here, y'all. So number one, who you are, Number 2, what you hoped you'd get out of this call. Number 3, what you got out of it. Anything surprised you that you took away you didn't think you would. Your biggest mindset shift. What? Okay. If anyone does that right there, just send it through. Who you are, what you hope you got out of this call, what you got out of it. Okay. Anything that surprised you that you took away that you didn't think you would get from this call, your biggest mindset shift from the call, and what you think it'll be worth to you in the next year. Tag it to me, email it to me. I'm going to send you out some swag. We've got some Carrot t-shirts. We've got awesome other Carrot stuff, Carrot water bottles, whatever it is, guys and gals. Anybody that sends me a good 30 second to 2 minute video that is coherent, that I can actually hear, that's good, that doesn't just say, hey, Trevor's awesome or whatever, we're going to send you out some Carrot swag. We'll get your mailing address from you and dive into it. Awesome, guys. Love you guys to death. Have an amazing rest of your, what's up, Royce? Went to college with Royce and real estate agent, Clown Falls. What's up, dude? Yes, there is a recording. As soon as I hit end on this, it's probably going to process on YouTube for 20 minutes, and then you'll be able to watch the recording. Amazing, guys. Have an amazing new year. Hit me up. Love to help you guys. Grab that package if you haven't already. Upgrade to the advanced marketer plan. Get your onboarding call set up. Get the challenge, and let's hit the new year hard.